nose freaks, short beaks in the night, humpback shadows, pygmies out of sight. All the dolphins, you know it's true, rolling deep in the ocean blue. Stripes and spots, they rule the tide. Water dogs of the deep, they don't hide. In the river's grip, seas endless bounty, ruling the waves, dolphin Illuminati. Praised by Romans, gods to the Greeks, underwater rulers, the power peaks. In ocean depths, their counts to 6. Dolphins in the dark, never calling it quits. Striped and spotted in the sea's domain. Aquatic dogs in their own insane lane. Through rivers they ride, seas they roam. In the ocean depths, they make their home.
Well, I talk about insanity, which is what's going on in your mind, and outside, which is where you communicate with those outside. As you know, if you give too much of your insanity, they'll lock you up. I tried giving as much as I could. They didn't lock me up. They published it on paper.
Dolphin, Illuminati, deep, deep, deep in the deep they creep. It's that dolphin, Illuminati. In the rivers and the seas they be a constant mystery. It's that dolphin, Illuminati. It's that dolphin, Illuminati. In the rivers and the seas, they be a constant mystery. It's that dolphin, Illuminati. It's that dolphin, Illuminati. Energy. Ain't nobody wanna step to me. If you wanna bring that drama, I'll whoop that ass like Michael Obama. Yeah, I got that big D energy. Ain't nobody wanna step to me. And if you really wanna bring that drama, I'll whoop that ass like Michael Obama.
No, Michelle is a trans.
I'm sorry, she's a what?
Transgender. We all know.
Oh my gosh.
It's okay.
I whip that beat out like Michael Obama.
We already had it with
I got that
Obama, so
energy.
let's just calm down.
Nobody wanna step to me. And if you really wanna bring that drama, I whip that ass like Michael Obama. I'm a girl, 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 I'm a whip them thing out like Michael Obama. I got that big, big energy. Ain't nobody wanna step like me. And if you really wanna bring that drama, I'll whip that ass like Michael Obama. Ain't got that clit, bitch, hung like a llama. I'll whip that dick out like Michael Obama.
Spread the word with propaganda packs, all for just $40 shipped at paranoidamerican.com.
Paranoid propaganda packs. We got facts on these sticker slaps. So grab yourself a stack and go attack with these paranoid propaganda packs.
These huge all-weather slaps will last in public for years to come. Remind citizens that birds are not real, self-immolation is an option, and might make you magnetic. Do your part and get a propaganda pack today from paranoidamerican.com.
Paranoid propaganda packs. We got facts on these sticker slaps. So grab yourself a stack and go attack with these paranoid propaganda packs.
What are you waiting for? Go to paranoidamerican.com right now and get a paranoid propaganda pack.
I wanna be but not Seth Rich. Know too much, get left in the ditch. CIA scratches its clicks, getting itch. Yeah, I wanna be rich, but not Seth Rich. I wanna be rich, but not Seth Rich. Wiki leaking, now you're thrown into a ditch. You wish the simulation had a glitch. You wanna be rich, but not Seth Rich. I wanna be rich, but not Seth Rich. Know too much, get left in the ditch. CIA scratches its clicks, getting itch. Yeah, I wanna be rich, but not Seth Rich. I wanna be rich, but not Seth Rich. Wiki leaking, now you're thrown into a ditch. You wish the simulation had a glitch. You wanna be rich, but not Seth Rich. I wanna be rich, but not Seth Rich. Wiki leaking out, you dove into a ditch. You wish the simulation had a glitch. You wanna be rich, but not Seth Rich. I wanna be rich, but not Seth Rich.
Britney Spears, can we be saved? God, why is Satan controlling the universe?
The world we used to think we knew is constantly exposing woo. Our possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys, good guys. Witches, widows, MAGA, mystics, entertaining cunning linguists, good guys. The forum of the quorum needs a secretive society to advance our philosophies intentionally, magically, good guys. Conspiracy, sex, cult, Jamaicans, it's okay to change your thinking, good guys. Good guys, good guys, good guys. The world we used to think we knew is constantly exposing woo. Our possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys, good guys. Witches, widows, MAGA, mystics, entertaining cunning linguists, good guys. The forum of the quorum needs a secretive society to advance our philosophies intentionally, magically, good guys. Conspiracy, sex, cult, Jamaicans, it's okay to change your thinking, good guys. Good guys, good guys, good guys.
Big up yourselves, good guys. Welcome to a ladies edition of Ssgg. We are so happy, those of you who decide to join us to talk about our periods and ovaries and sometimes conspiracy. And this is usually where, if we're going to get in trouble by Dr. Fauci and the censors, it's going to happen on Sunday nights. So make sure you hit the like and subscribe and go over to the Rumble and X, because there seems to be a little more expensive free speech there, but we can say words like vaccine. So that will be the last week.
Oh, you said it.
See how I said it like that? I just used it like, come on. Come on, censors.
Like, come
Anyways, hi, good goyas. Hi, good goyums. What you doing?
What's up? How you doing? How you guys
miss you
doing? How you
guys.
doing, chat? We
Feels
love
like it's
you out
been
there.
2 days since we last chatted.
I know. I love you gals so much.
Gadies. That's a cute one. 3 eyes. Hey, gadies. Hey, ladies and gadies.
3 eyes, huh?
Ladies and
eyes.
figs. Ladies and figs. And all the real men who are real men enough to sit and hang out with us while we wonder where the wind comes from.
we appreciate that a lot. In all seriousness, we do. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, I missed you guys.
There's some good guys out there.
They're good boys and girls.
Good guys.
Isn't Aurora, Colorado weird to start off on a kind of hot topic? Can we
Hells
talk about
Angels
Aurora?
thing? The Hells
Well,
Angels thing?
first there's like Venezuelan gangs taking over Aurora, Colorado, and they're breaking into people's houses and they're taking over full apartment complexes. And the news in Aurora is kind of like, hey, this may or may not be happening. Because when we ask the police department or the sheriff's department, they're kind of mums the word about it. And they're like, this is all not true. None of this is true. And then people are saying that the Hells Angels and like the Warlocks or something are going to drive and kind of like vigilante justice this thing. And people are saying all that footage is from last year. And why would they say they were going to do it if they were going to do it? So,
Yeah. And the funny thing is, the governor is saying it's not happening, but the mayor is saying it's happening, which is fucking
So is this a
weird.
false flag or what?
I think always listen to your mayors first. Your mayors are your closest local officials. Most of you, whether you know it or not, you know where your mayor's house is. Whether
Yeah.
you know it or not, your mayor's house is usually whoever is your mayor moves into that house. And the reason that you know where their address is so you could hold pitchforks outside. This is all for a reason. This is so you hold your government accountable. So
That's what's
I
up,
think you
motherfucker.
always listen to a mayor over a governor and you listen to a governor over a president. That's
Yeah.
how I would say. And if you wanna
Well,
listen to
yeah.
no one at all, I'm an anarchist. I just don't believe we can live in a safe enough world for women and children to actually practice anarchy. I just think always rape happens. So instead, I just am like, we're gonna have some laws, guys. I
Yeah.
just don't trust enough that I mean,
I
that we
mean,
can't.
but that's the reality we live in. We want to have like no one governing or no one telling
Liberty.
you what to do all the time.
Yeah.
Like you have your parents. Yeah, I was just thinking about this before. I was like, isn't that weird that everyone wants to like control something? Everyone, whether it's a parent, whether it's a fucking
A
school
pet.
teacher, a pet, whatever, the government. It's always like everyone, or relationship, a man trying to control a woman, or a woman.
Or even your environment. Like,
Yeah, it's
things
everything
have
is
to be
control, control,
this way.
control, and it's like, are we here for like, are we all gods trying to play God and control everything, like control the timeline?
Legit
God
though,
is
I
all
feel like I
controlling.
did come out of the gate hot tonight.
You,
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah,
I
you
came
did.
right out of the gate
I
hot.
love
Like
it.
legit.
Yeah.
Here we go. Yeah, we got a fox on the front. So if you see any of us anywhere this week, comment the little fox emoji and we will love it. And we big up and shout out to My Maria 777. Follow her everywhere because she's the one who she didn't teach us the timeline game. We all always have been playing the timeline game. She just shows you how powerful you are. Is
Yeah.
Layla, are you ringing through? Oh, wait. Oh my
What?
gosh. Do I have a magic visitor?
Ooh.
Ooh, somebody's flying in.
I always like to surprise you guys with a magic
Ooh, I
visitor.
love it.
Summer.
Hooray. Summer.
Bra, bra. Big up
Hi!
yourself.
Brah,
Where's
Hi
brah.
in
Abbie?
I will
Jamaica.
say, bro, the fucking crickets and creatures are like extra irritable today. So I'll be flying in and out. Hi!
No, we don't
Hi.
mind it. It's
Yeah, we
part of the
don't mind a
magic.
little nature.
Their music,
Well,
so
your
that whenever
audience
we
might like
speak,
spiral. It sounds like a fire alarm with no batteries changed. But I
well,
don't
they
know.
Just
will
No,
so you
help.
guys
that's part of
know.
having our Jamaican on.
Yeah, Jamaican crickets have some attitude. They sound like an angry little rusty swing set. That's what I thought.
They do.
I just always pictured Summer sitting outside in Jamaica in a swing. And then she told me one day it was her crickets. So, hi Sums, how are you?
I know, I love that though. I wish it was me at 3 in the morning, like Annabelle, just rocking in the darkness. I'm good. I'm good. It's back to school here tomorrow. So, I just have tears for homework not done. And I ran away to you guys. I'm like, I'm working. Hi. So what else?
I
What
feel like
happened
a
in the
lot of
world today,
parents
guys?
I feel like a
Oh,
lot of
sorry.
parents, regardless of where they're oh, it's okay. I know there's a little delay to you guys in Jamaica, sometimes, so just no. Um, Parents all over the world are having to do the go back to school. And this seems like a time where like a lot of parents, mothers and dads alike, almost have like two jobs, and then like their kid goes back to school and they're like, huh, whew.
Yeah.
It's been a lot. So then it makes me extra kudos all the homeschool moms that have
Oh,
their kids
God.
year round. And
God bless
the
y'all.
like the homeschool moms that they never wanted to be a homeschool mom. COVID made them a homeschool mom. And then maybe they found it better off or they realized the school system was booty, so now they're staying with the homeschool. But anyway, you cut it. Just to me, being around them little question askers 24/7, big up
What's
yourself.
this? I wonder what is
Big up
this. What is
yourself.
that for? What
Yes,
is
man.
that? It's just like
Well,
24/7
they're past the
questions.
well, the what age is nice. It's when you have like the early teenager, like they're already with the roll eyes
Yeah,
attitude and fuck.
but it's like you become
This is a
Jeeves and
lesson.
like
How do I
ask
handle this?
Jeeves.
I will
Yeah.
say, as a parent and as like an aunt and stuff, like I've noticed with kids in general, 15 is the worst age. I swear to God,
Probably, yeah.
15
I would
because
say
they don't
15,
ask
16.
questions anymore. They know it all.
they're assholes. Yeah, they're fine by 16, but it's like the year of 15 is horrible.
Mm-hmm.
The year of the rat.
Ugh.
Nimrod. That's Nimrod's number. Um, guys, I don't know. I'm feeling sloth feverish. That was on the timeline. What else has happened this week? I just noticed we did have
We were
a
talking about
lot.
Aurora.
Oh, Aurora Borealis?
No, Aurora, Colorado, where the like Venezuelan gangs are taking over all the places. But then I also agree with the false flag of it all because if you look at all the illegals that have been coming into our country, it hasn't been women and children. It's all been military aged men. So I think that maybe some of the governors and some of the politicians are in cahoots with other shipping in these military age men, and they've been setting up shop underground in all these cities, all these sanctuary cities across our country for the last few years. And now all of a sudden they all got their uh, orders and they're all gonna pop off. And they've had orders for a few weeks now or a few months now to just shoot cops on site. So is a $40,000 employee really gonna put his life on the line? But nah, dog. Nah. So it's like, and do you expect them to against Venezuelan gangs? So then they're gonna have to call in the military or the National Guard in these places. So the National Guard is going to be on stand down in a lot of states.
You
And
know,
that is
you did
curious.
say that kids and mothers didn't come, but the ones that did, 30,000 of the children are missing. The ones that did come by. And they were like trying to put them in spots. 30,000 children, the government lost count of. They don't know where they are. They don't know what happened to them. They just poof, gone, vanished.
Well,
Where did they go?
if the real
That's the question.
statistic was that 800,000 children were going missing every single year, and that was like a statistic we used to be able to find easy, but now people are like, "Oh, we debunked that. That's Snopes. That's PolitiFact. That's not real." And so it's just like they're gonna have to make it up for it somewhere. If they needed 800,000 children in a business, they're gonna have to make up for these. And so an undocumented kid's the easiest to take.
Oh yeah,
Or
You almost
suppose these
sounded
are the
muffled for a
fathers
second.
coming in and kicking down doors looking for their kids. That's what I say sometimes. I'm like, sometimes I look at people are still people too. I'm not saying there's different varies of it, but there must be angry parents looking at fathers and stuff kicking down doors to look for their kids as well. Like, I don't know. It's very nerve wracking.
And this is where I think too, I just think the most amount of ops I can think of with CIA and militaries in Colorado. So this is where you'd want to pop off and put, if you're like the evil they, the elite, whatever you want to call them, you'd want to put your military around you. So if they want to run to the bunkers or to the Denver airport, they would want their Venezuelan gang all surrounding them.
yeah. Well, because that's the thing I've been thinking about a lot is like the oath you have to take when you enlist in the military, and it's like I say, state your name, do solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and
Foreign
domestic.
and domestic.
That's like so the military is there to support the Constitution, and then to
Not
obey the
the
orders.
politicians.
Yeah, then it says then to obey the orders of those appointed over me, but that's secondary to support and defend the Constitution.
Did y'all notice Colorado? It's Colorado. The word color is in there.
Colorado.
Color auto.
Ado. Colorado.
It's like almost like a color revolution right there in our face.
So, and the way I would translate it is like, do you want color? In my language, Colorado. Colorado.
Colorado is beautiful. It really is Purple Mountain majesty.
Is it? Really?
So gorgeous. Like, of the states in this country that just like Oregon is breathtaking. It's gorgeous. It's so lush, and there's something about the mountain peak sitting solo, but the Rocky Mountains in Colorado is magnificent. It is like a finger of God just went through there. It's like a paintbrush. It lets you know how fine, like you're just a tiny little thing in the middle of all this. And a cool part, because it's so high, they have so much sunshine, even though it might be snowy or cold. So they have a lot. They probably, like Denver might have like 300 sunshine days a year. I don't know. I
So
might
it
be
probably
making
looks
that
so
up, but
majestic out there, like skiing and the slopes and like all that sunshine and it's blinding you and
the Air Force Academy's out there.
Mm.
Y'all are making me sad. I'm from the mountains and I live in the flattest state in the United States, practically.
Well, I don't miss the cold, so it's nice to look at. I'll just, YouTube it if I ever miss it. Fuck that.
I know.
I
Okay,
can't do the
guys.
cold.
One last thing that I like popped up though. So when I looked up Aurora, it's a home rule municipal. Oh God, I can't
Muni-
say that word.
Municipality.
That was worse than
You are always good at that.
Pacificutive.
That's
What?
such a your word to
Municipality.
say.
Yeah, it didn't want me to say it. But it's a home rule one, right? So it can make up its own rules according to Article 20 of the Constitution. So maybe, I don't know. It's like a free zone kind of thing, a statutory city. So I think that should stand out. Maybe that's why they picked that one for itself.
I don't know. The mountains are interesting battlefield as well. They seem to be the hardest battlefield for us. But our military has also been training in subterranean warfare, which I also think you need in Colorado.
Interesting that they're by the mountains. I wonder if this has anything to do with like Gog and Magog and like.
Oh my
how,
gosh, the Colorado mountains are actually the Gog and Magog. Like,
Dude,
because if we're
imagine.
supposed to think mirror and Israel's not Israel and the Mediterranean Sea, if we're supposed to flip it onto the Gulf, and oh my gosh, you just changed the whole thing.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, if you think about it, there's this guy actually who said that north is not actually north, and that everything, according to the Bible, if you really study the Bible, that it will tell you that everything is flipped upside down, and north is actually south, and south is, it's like all flipped.
What's trippy is that dream mapping, like the dream hackers who actually do a lot of dream mapping, the dream maps are always flipped too. North is south,
Interesting.
south is north, east is
Mhm.
west.
I don't know. It seemed I gotta post this information. It's pretty fascinating. I was like, oh my god! And he's doing it according to the Bible by reading the Bible. It's like it tells you in the Bible that it's all flipped. I'm like, oh okay. Gotta look into
And
it.
that would tie into the whole like Denver airport, like all the subterranean shit, the Gog Magog, right?
Ah.
Yeah, if the Gog and Magog was there and they knew about it, and then
With
they
all the
were building,
gargoyles.
yeah, or even Nephilim,
Ooh.
everything they talk about with the Nephilim being in the mountains and stuff. And if you were to flip, I wonder, like, if you were to do the like think mirror, would like Afghanistan, Iraq area lay on top of Colorado? Because we always talk about where Israel would lay or where Italy would lay or where, these other
Where's
Vatican
Turkey?
places. But where's the Middle East? Where's Albania if you flip it on top? And then what would you find in that place in our country that you'd be like, holy shit, we have this town, we have this street, we have.
Dude, that's a very interesting project to like actually like overlap maps and like see what would fit where.
I'm gonna pull them both up right now. That's what we do here. I forgot I had a computer in front of me. I forgot we weren't just on the phone with Summer.
I'm
If
so
we're on the
happy
phone with
Summer's
Summer
here.
would be
Like-
screen sharing and doing it for us.
No, I wish, because I'm over here purposely not saying the Gog and Magog because y'all said it too many times in the same minute. And I don't want
Who
to bring it up.
cares? Do you know how many
So
times
then
we
when
bring
I
up
get- who
pussy?
cares? You know,
Oh my God.
it's okay. I'm not accountable. I'm staying out of it. It's about to be a new moon. But as I click on their names, the first option, I'm like going to news for Gog and Magog because that's what I love. And they gave me location. So they were drawn in the northeast corner of Asia. I never knew it was a fucking mountain. Fuck.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
No.
Summer.
Mine are living people, though. It wasn't in that same spot. Okay.
No, because I do feel like, Summer, I will tell you, I am from the timeline where the original Gog and Magog were like two people. Like one person was Gog and one person was
Oh
Magog.
yeah, like
And
two
That's what
then,
I
spirits.
always thought growing up.
okay, and then I feel like over the period of a certain amount of time, like it's become a horde of things. But it used to just be like a guy and he had a stick with a ball on the end with spikes was one guy, and he had a beard and he looked like a Viking kind of.
That's because God traditionally, like Christians always used to say, was like the leader of Russia.
But Ezekiel 38:39 speaks of a great battle in Israel city. Is Israel in Asia? Since when? And it's people from Magog, led by a king named Gog.
Yeah, and
So how are
Magog
they
was supposed
not
to
two
be
people still
Magog
now?
was Magog was supposed to be like people from like Moscow area. Is what like the Bible, like biblical scholars would have said.
But look at really how much they call Russia. Look at
Yeah,
like
I know.
Mongolia, all the Kazakhstans, all through here, even like North China. That's why it's like all the Uyghurs are all up here because all the outskirts area, all of outskirt Russia is all Muslim. And so China having no government, and then India having like no government, no religion, like a
Yeah,
godverment, and then India having all of these religions shoved in it. But if you look at all the Kastans all the way over Pakistan, Afghanistan, Kyrgyzstan, Dagestan, all the way into Iran, Iraq, everything, it's all Muslim except for Israel.
Yeah.
It's such a like, whew, but then we almost don't learn about any of that in like our schooling. They almost teach us all about Russia just being this big,
yeah.
huge thing.
Well, there's a whole idea, if you want to get into the story of where Israel actually is. They were talking about the Anglo Israeli tribe and that it actually started in Europe. And
Yeah, more
that's,
like Turkey, right? I think.
no, it was in
No.
that fucking Europe. The Anglo Israelis, is a whole fucking history on this that I think
What
was
am I
probably
looking
taken.
up? What
It's pretty
map is
fucking
this that we're called the
fascinating.
EEUU?
And Russia has one S. I'm like,
What?
what? It's not like I'm freaking
I
Well,
teleported.
have n-
because Russians got Russia.
That's what we call it, Lucia.
Yeah.
And what is the EEU that you guys are part of?
I don't know. I gotta shut this map
Lucia.
down. I gotta
Los
get that right
Estados
out of here.
Unidos. Because in Spanish it's Estados Unidos.
Estados Unidos. Arr. Arr. With that
You're
tongue.
like,
I'm gonna
I
shut up.
do.
Los Estados Unidos.
Yes. See.
See, papi.
Ooh, papi chulo.
Poppy's always a good one. I don't mind daddy either. I just like it more like I don't wouldn't call my man daddy, but I do like the reference of the vibe daddy.
Yeah.
The daddy
It,
vibe,
get, it
yeah.
gives daddy energy. It's like,
Yeah.
damn, daddy. All right, you
But like
got
when you
it.
say
I
like a
see
spicy
you.
Latino and you say papi, it sounds so much hotter.
Mhm.
Every single like older Mexican guy that I've worked with for a long period of time, I eventually call him Poppy. And if he calls me Mija,
I was always called flaca, skinny. Hey,
I
flaca.
was
I'm
about
like,
to
what the
say
fuck is
flaco.
that?
sometimes they'll call me Chila. That was like one thing for over a year. A whole kitchen called me Chila every time I got to work, and I fucking hated it. But I didn't even try to correct it. I just let it happen. And then everybody else would like sometimes we'd all be hanging out and you'd be like, Chila, when you're at the bar, get me a beer. And I'd be like, Abbie, do not call me Chila. Stupid. Anyway.
Chala.
What
Yeah.
else happened in the past 2 days?
So like a Venezuelan gang just isn't going to Colorado for free. There's money
No,
being
they're getting
exchanged.
paid. Yeah, absolutely. There's a whole app apparently for all the immigrants
Well,
that they can
Venezuela is like
download.
the country like in the Bernie days that had just switched over to socialism too, isn't it? And they're like, "Oh, it works so good for Venezuela," and then it didn't. Wasn't it
Yeah.
Venezuela?
I think so, but I think
think so.
Venezuela's in a really bad way right now too.
Yeah. Oh, they are.
Like in more ways than just this.
Venezuela, Brazil.
And this
You
is
know, if you
where
go to
it's like I
Venezuela,
understand this is like where everyone's like, "Oh, it's so racist," but Donald Trump's like, "They're not sending us their best. They're not sending their
Yeah.
brightest. They're sending
if-
the people they don't want in their country." So their crime rates have all dropped in these countries cuz all these gangs are here.
and here's the irony: you try to go to Venezuela and become a citizen. You go there illegally, you're getting fucking locked up. You won't get fucking citizenship. They won't allow it. You want to seek
Citizenship.
asylum? It's not happening. But here, just come on in. Anybody's allowed. Open borders. Y'all are sick. I'm telling you, it's not good. It's really not good what's happening. And I'm starting to believe it more and more. Whatever's happening in Aurora, Colorado, because I believe that it's possible. Like it's possible for that to happen.
What's the for our amazing intelligent chat if you guys know and I could press buttons and look it up. But what's the gun rules in Colorado for Americans? Are they allowed to carry? Are they allowed to do everything out there? It seems like it'd be
definitely
a pretty
hunting
American.
state.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty Americana state, Colorado.
You must be
For
18
me.
years and older and must not have any state or federal prohibitions in order to own a firearm in Colorado.
Okay. Well, Coloradans, whatever you call yourself,
Colorado.
Coloradians?
Coloradites.
Yeah.
You guys are
Coloradites.
Floridians.
Coloridians.
Chloridians.
Coloridians.
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 Chlorine.
It's funny how every state has its own little thing, like Oregonians.
Concealed carry with a license, but
Oklahomans are called Okies.
not a constitutional carry
Okies?
state.
Yeah, we don't call
And
it Oklahomans. We
New
say Okies.
Yorkers are called
And they're a whole
Yankees.
the municipality. So they have their own gun laws for those ones too. Did the Hells Angels reach to Aurora yet though?
You guys, I think even the Hells Angels, it's such a Hunter S. Thompson motorcycle gang. And so Hunter S. Thompson is such a Hollywood shill, everything about him down to his Johnny Depp being shot out of a cannon literally at the end of his life. I think that his ashes were, I said like him, like he was just shot out of a cannon with a hard hat on. But he is, I think the Hells Angels are like a CIA bike gang. Like they're not a real bike gang. I just feel like
think
I
they
know
are.
so many bikers and I don't know any Hells Angels. Hells Angels seem like first you wear like Harley Davidson clothes and then if you're in the CIA you get Hells Angels clothes.
Well, I heard a
They're
biker
big.
talk about.
But the way they became big is because Hunter S. Thompson traveled with them and wrote about them.
Well, they are big in the state of Nevada, and I know that, like, my friend's mom was in big trouble with the Hells Angels over fucking meth. So, like, they were showing up at her house, and like her kids were fucking watching the shit. So I don't know.
So there's this biker also who's talking about this whole situation. He's part of a one percenter club, he said. And he said the only reason that I can think about the Hells Angels actually going to a place like this and gathering is if one of their own were involved with this. And that's the only other reason other than government involvement. And he said it from his own mouth. I was like, well, that's another good point. Maybe someone they know is part of that community.
Well, or like what Abbie said is like, I know a lot of bikers and like they run territory of drugs. And
Yeah.
so if you were to step in their territory, that it started to affect their cash. So if like the Hells Angels ran meth through Aurora, Colorado, and now all their fucking citizens are getting kicked out of their houses and can't afford to get their meth, and it hits the bottom line of a gang, that would be a reason they'd go in
Yeah.
there.
Oh yeah.
That makes sense.
And they're big in Nevada.
It seems like all through, like, it's all, to be fair, too, like, I am under a different territory of colors.
You are. Like the colors run different. In
Yeah, the
different
colors
states.
run different in different states. And so,
Yeah.
like, I'm under, like, warlocks, outlaws. Like, the bikers in my area are a little different than, like, Hells Angels. So, so
Yeah,
even my
people.
idea of them, like what it's like, oh, they're Mickey Mouse biking. Like my idea, because it's like all Hunter S. Thompson stuff. All the other bike gangs are like, we wouldn't have let a journalist inside our bike gang and told him all the ins and outs of what it meant to be a member of our bike gang.
Their clubhouse in Reno was like a fucking really cool Victorian house. It was like this yellow fucking Victorian. It was kind of weird to think that that
Yeah.
was the clubhouse.
People are actually rooting for like gangs to like stand up and not just the biker gangs, but they're like calling for all gangs to do something about that. If you want to be a gang, like start protecting your fucking community and like actually do something. Like you're seeing what they're getting, and you're not getting any cut of that. They're getting down payments for houses with zero interest. Like, are you kidding me? You're not getting that. You're still living in Section 8, my friend. Like
Yeah,
a lot
that's
of
really they're giving, I
like
think, two hundred and fifty thousand
and
dollars in California. They're like using tax money to get illegals houses.
yeah, and a lot of these gangs are
It's
part of these
insane.
apartment complexes, like the Bloods, the Crips, Latin Kings, Albanians. Like a bunch of them are living in these cities that are being affected, and like you're seeing it. Why aren't you guys doing anything about it? Like you want to use your guns, you use them for a good reason. Here you go. Be
Well,
the
that
Robin Hoods.
Isn't
there's
that kind of like how it starts though? Because even the mafia, it starts as kind of like its own
turf war.
little government governing though self
Hmm.
government, wouldn't you say?
I almost think our government, though, used to be scared when there was mafia families that were more
Yeah,
powerful than the politicians. When there
yeah,
was like a Don to answer to, it seemed like some of our politicians were in check somewhere, and somewhere the mafia, when like somewhere I think the mafia helps Kennedy get in, and then the Kennedy turn on the mafia and they kind of go after them as well. And that's when the mafia is like, oh, really? So I think the mafia gets involved with the CIA to kill Kennedy. And so but then it's a question of what family does it, because it doesn't mean all the mafia families are necessarily attached. So
yeah,
some family, like, and it's like some guy could die 20 years later because of the Kennedy assassination that we have no, like, the Teflon Don could have got pulled out 20 years later because of something, like, we have no idea how the inner workings. So then you take the Italian gangs, which were the old ones, but these gangs that they say, like, from Venezuela, and like even like the idea of like Mexicans coming through the border, that isn't the problem. And I don't
mm,
think like that, it's not, it's like South American, Guatemalan, these dark gangs, and they've really been in Chicago because you look at it and like the bummer of it all, and like they've been in Chicago for so long, taking over the city, that even the black gangs have been like, holy shit, like these gangs are next level, because they are like
Yeah,
skinning people and doing like shit, like, oh, like taking it to the next level. And so they've taken over. So do you remember all the Ecuadorian prisons and all the Ecuadorian prisoners that were tattooed head to toe, like during lockdowns,
yeah,
that they all got shipped back at
yeah,
the end of Trump's presidency? Thousands, like hundreds of thousands. They had to build like the
yeah,
biggest prison in the world to hold them all.
yeah. I still have the videos of these cartel members of what they did to this little girl and having her like sliced open in her after they raped her, and her guts spilled out. I still have the video. I'm just like, these are the type of people that are coming in, and now people are so helpless that they can't even depend on the police. They can't depend on the FBI. They can't depend on any of that because they call these people in, and now they want help from our gangs.
Well, it's
It's
up to the
like,
governors to call in the National Guard. So if the governors won't call in the National Guard and the mayors are begging for it, that tells you something.
yeah,
yeah.
Like if the mayors are begging for help and the governor is standing down, that is telling you something. Like our country has been infiltrated.
yeah,
And how
like
easy is
big
it
time.
to hire, like with Venezuela in its current state, to hire a militia of Venezuelans, like to come into the United States? Like, why wouldn't they want to do that?
Yeah. And just take over. Like
Yeah,
here's a whole town of like sitting, like,
we
and
ain't
you can
gotta
just walk
fuck with the
in and just
communist
take
shit
their
over
house.
here. Yeah, we got it. We'll take
Y'all
what we
strap
want.
up. That's all I'm saying. Fucking strap up.
Exercise your Second Amendment. Yeah.
Just
Or are we gonna get taken down for that?
just strap
Well,
up.
this
That's
is
all.
also all ways that a bunch of people in Aurora regardless of how you feel about it, don't get to make it to the polls. Or if somebody's in their house, they don't even get their ballot mailed to them.
Yeah.
So
Or if
doesn't
they're
that
dead.
mess up an election? And isn't this the same state that tried to take Trump off the ballot? Because isn't this the same governor that tried to take Trump take him off the ballot for insurrection?
It's insane.
Curious governor Colorado's working with. I don't even know a lot about Colorado politics, but just in the little bit of my like short-term memory, I'm like, God damn.
And it's not like a thing to fear, like strap up. Just strap up because you won't have anything to fear then. You know you can
'Cause
protect yourself.
Like
It's
Chaney says, it's the great equalizer.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is. It doesn't matter if you're 14. It doesn't matter if you're a 110-pound woman. The reason that American women can have such a big mouth is because of American bullets.
I want to slowly start carrying a gun. I could conceal carry here.
You can open carry, can't you?
Oh yeah. Oh shit.
You just need a holster.
Mess with me, motherfuckers. I dare you. Yo. Okay. I did not know that about my own state.
Yeah,
What a
Layla does
shame.
not need to open carry. That's like a dragon on your hip. Layla should just walk around with one of those tasers that have the wires still
Nah,
attached to
fucking
it for
carry.
a little while. You know, the
Have
ones
you-
that sink in and you can keep.
Have you ever done the taser thing with your phone camera?
No.
Like, I think you can take your cameras and you black it out with a Sharpie, and then you turn on the flash or whatever, or the flashlight, and it will zap you like a freaking taser.
Get the fuck out of here.
It's painful.
Is there a video on that?
Yeah, I don't remember if that's
Can you
exactly
make a
how it
weapon
works,
out
but
of
my
this?
kid did it. Yes, you can. My kid did it to me, and it fucking hurt bad.
Yo.
Like, it hurts.
Okay, so there's
I mean,
a
I might
tool.
not be telling you how to do it right, but I know it entails, like, I think you just hit the
Hey,
cameras with
Abbie's
Sharpie.
kids, stop electrocuting your mom with a phone taser.
For real.
Well, I learned a cool trick.
Like, I know I
it's-
haven't met your kids yet, and there's a certain amount of line that I'm going to let kids be mean to me, but you're not allowed to tase your ma.
Well, even when you're a cop, you have to be tased before you're allowed to carry a taser.
When you're a mom, you have to be tased
Well.
before you're allowed to have a teenager.
Well, I know it works.
Abbie.
Yes, ma'am.
Fuck.
I hear you, Summer.
Okay, so when you said that, it reminds me of this iPhone 12. So the bottom camera on it, right? I always take pictures of my son. So one day I'm just like zooming in, taking pictures of the fucking sun, and the whole camera just like the glass just shatters, like
Her
the reflection,
children
like it's not-
and the sun in the sky.
Oh.
When you said I always
Oh,
take
yeah,
a
no,
picture of my
okay.
son, I was
Of the
like,
sky and
rub
the
it.
clouds. Sorry, guys. No, okay. No, but I was the sun, this new blue sun in the sky, and I zoomed in and I just hear "Pie!" and the glass burst. Like when you like burn stuff through with the sun and the reflection. So
What
I
did
wonder
it
if
sound
it's
like?
that same. Pie! I don't know. Ever since then, though, both of my fingertips.
Timestamp
from
that,
grabbing it,
someone.
I have slices from the shards of the glass. But now that that's like an exposed camera, bro, I swear to you, sometimes I sit on my bed and I feel like I get tased if I sit on and then I pick up and it was my fucking phone. I think it like.
Yo, is that what
unset
that
So
is?
It's powerful.
Because sometimes I feel like
it's
when I
hot
put my
as
phone
fuck.
on my lap, I feel like it stings. It stings me for some reason.
It'll
Okay, let me
even
tell
make
you
that.
guys.
It'll even makes the sound of a taser. It's crazy.
And I'm
And
thinking it's
every
like
time
my
your phone
hair is
rings, the
pulling me.
stereo back when would be like beforehand. It would like mess up the song before, like across the room, and you'd be like, someone's got a text or a phone call coming in. So it's like, okay, riddle me this, Batman. Couldn't, instead of anything in the sky or instead of harp anyway like that, couldn't I just turn on everyone's phone 0.3 degrees hotter or put a buzz in everyone's phone that they wouldn't even notice, like that? Like, it would almost hurt, but it's not even there, it's in their pocket. And if they were in a place like all like Miami Stadium or a football game or a college, or could I control the weather by turning on phones? Or could I control the water inside of all of them, the 70% water they are? Could I make them all frazzled feeling? Could I make them all angry by just a little buzz on the phone?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, everything is frequency. I think didn't we see the videos of all these people like turning on their phone and they get a weird text and all of a sudden they fucking pass out? They see some kind of like demon around them and then whoop. It's always
Yeah, what happened to
the
those?
phone involved. I still see them here and there sporadically. I'm just like, oh, okay. I'm like so used to it now. It's like, it's like, oh, it's not a shock anymore.
Yeah, what happened to all those? They were like, "Oh my gosh, there's a demon above me," and then they contorted their body and turned so much, and then just died. They like turned around so hard. Like I don't even
Like
want to mock
exorcism
how
style.
hard they turned around. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and they were like, "What are they looking at? What are they looking at?" All the way back around.
Yep. And it always linked to this. Like they would get a text or like a message, and then all of a sudden, oh, let me not mock them. Sorry. Trying to do better. Trying to do better.
Not mock. I don't even know what's real anymore, honestly. So it's
Yeah.
like, are you not allowed to mock, the character of Jack or Rose? It's like, I don't know what's real.
Yeah,
So can you not mock the character? And then I don't know what of the people is real that we know that they're allowed to tell us. So can I not mock the actor? Can I not mock the politics? Fuck them. They're all involved. Like I see Mark Ruffalo every other day on X talking about pro Kamala stuff, and I'm just like, fuck him.
Who?
I know he used to be so cute, and now
I
it's
know,
like
but
he's
that's
disgusting.
what really happened to the Avengers. I think I almost think that movie took a dive because all the celebrities in that started to become very political and
Yeah.
start saying political shit that it like turned
Nobody
people
wants to
off.
see it. Yeah.
Mark Ruffalo was the Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
He was the cute Hulk.
He was the cute Hulk, damn it. And he was in 13 Going on 30, and I freaking loved that movie too.
But think of that groomer movie.
I know,
Every
right?
single one of those movies. 13 Going on 30, Freaky Friday, any of those where like the parent switches bodies with a kid, creepy groomer movies.
Okay, I
Yeah.
was thinking about Freaky Friday the other day.
Vor.
Like, could you imagine waking up and you're like in your 40-year-old mom's body and you have to look at her vagina?
That is what I like say, or like your dad's at your high school. Like
Oh
what?
my god. Like the one where the
talking to-
guy and the woman, or guy switches body with the woman too. Could you imagine being a woman and having like a fucking nasty penis between your legs? Oh my god.
or vice versa.
Ow.
Like just a dude, like even
Oh
if
my
you're just
God.
like,
Did
like-
the hip dance side to side?
even if you
sway?
were a grown woman switching bodies with another grown woman, I would be horrified.
I know.
I swear, if I were a dude, I'd be doing this all the time, like just swing.
Me too. Me
No,
too.
you'd have to do the helicopter.
Just for fun.
Like, you
Oh,
spin
I'd be
and a
peeing all over the
helicopter.
place too. I'd be peeing all over. I'd piss all over the toilet seat. I watched this video. Somebody sent it to me. I don't know if I sent it to you guys.
Oh my
Of this freaking lady, like her husband's like, I want you to try. You quit bitching about me peeing on the toilet seat. I want you to try this. So she takes the garden hose. He gives her the garden hose, and she has to hold it between her legs, and he gives her a 5-gallon bucket. It's like, now hit the bucket. And he's standing over there and he's kinking the hose and unkinking it. She's like, stop doing that. It's like,
I've seen
between her
that.
legs. Like, and he's like, no, make it shorter, make it shorter. So she's like, got to hold it almost all the way up to her body. And then like, she's like, because she's like, I could do this. I would never make a mess. And then, yeah, he's kinking the hose and he's like, it don't always come out all at once.
Here's the problem with that, though.
Oh my God, it was so funny.
Because I walked in on this guy like 2 weeks ago. I was at Asia, my sister, where she works. Bro, do you know how he's peeing? I was baffled. Like, he didn't even lock the door, number one. I walk in, and the toilet is like, you walk in, okay? And he's peeing like this without holding it. And he's just like letting it hang. And he's back like this. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why is he peeing like that? And I told everybody outside, and then most of them were my dudes that work with me at Lola. And I was like, guys, serious question. Do you guys hold your penises when you pee or not? They're like, why? What the fuck? You know, all confused why I would ask that question. I was like, well, I walked in on somebody and I saw his mouse, because that's what it looked like, just dangling there. I tried to aim for the fucking toilet. I'm like, okay. So do you guys hold your penis or not when you pee? Chat.
Oh, I was like, what? Did someone? What?
Because that's
Well,
the
I
only
taught my
reason
kids
I
when I
would see.
potty trained them, I aiming.
Oh.
Yeah. I think it's
The
a
other
game.
thing I just learned about men too is that depending on the toilet, sometimes their penis dangles in the water when they're taking a shit. Like, oh my god, the things you don't.
That
Thank
And
God
their
I
Abby,
don't have a
thank you
balls.
for
penis.
saying it,
And
not
their
me.
balls, like the older they
As we get
get, like
older.
their balls just keep growing and growing and growing and growing. Like when guys always are like, girls, like your tits just get saggy. I'm like, balls get unbelievable. Tit skin is a lot thicker and tits actually feed beans. That's why they end up getting saggy, is because they like get plump with milk and then they feed a child sucking on them and then they go back down. Sometimes do it more than once, sometimes fucking 7 times. So, whatever. But balls, they're just like they're doing kind of the same process where they're filling up and then letting it out and filling up and letting it out. And so they have to get plump sometimes and then so they're kind of doing this with thinner skin. And then, dude, I grew up in the nudist colony. I have seen balls that I'm just like, no wonder. I just feel like no wonder guys have tidy whities.
You
Like
know,
they all can't have boxers. And just comfort wise, I never had balls, but it just seems like one of the more uncomfortable things ever. Like sitting on your own balls, or like sometimes I
Ooh.
just throw myself in and out of my car, or I like jump across something. I don't even think about like, what if you just pinched your balls?
A
Like,
bicycle
I
seat.
one
But
of my
oh,
biggest childhood traumas was walking in on my dad standing and peeing, and I don't know how old I was. It was probably like 4, and I went back to my room, and I was like, I sat in my room with like the blankets over my head, like for a long time. When my mom finally comes in, she's like, Abby, what's wrong with you? I was like, Mom, Dad has 3 PPs. She's like, what? I was like, he's got 3 PPs. I don't know what's wrong with him. And I was like freaking out. And she was just like, oh, Abby, that's just what a man looks like. I was like, oh my God. Like,
hang on,
I
hang
was
on,
not
hang on.
okay.
Abby, I'm traumatized though. So you brought it up.
you
So
cut out
guys
some.
out there. So if
Okay.
you were
Okay.
briefs, you am I back? I keep switching from data to Wi-Fi. Am
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
here?
Yep.
yeah.
Okay. So it floats around. If
Yeah.
you
Yep.
have briefs though, does it make it better for you that your balls like stay intact? I always think the boxers might be what makes them sag more. So is that why they made bidets and stuff? Because fuck, your shitting and your logs of shit are floating in between
Days
your
are awesome.
balls, hanging.
No,
It,
so some guys, they have to hold their shit up
Yeah.
while they're using the bathroom. So because they also like it's free, like the worst thing in the world is if a guy has to go and like he just woke up or whatever and for whatever reason he has to sit on the toilet and then his balls touch the freezing cold water. Like they don't like that.
That's so traumatic, man.
I don't have a husband and I talk about all this stuff though with my guy friends. Like I really want to know and I want them to be comfortable. Like
Yeah.
sometimes I think of like I feel like I'd have a novel idea and they're like, Chaney, we got it. Like
Okay,
they're
well, they
like,
have the Woody hoodie, right? Which is like the little sock thing that you put on your pecker for the winter time. There must be like some kind of gadget protective thing that we could put like a
well,
curtain on them for when they
it
take
needs
it.
to be warmer. I feel like there's certain times of the year too. I know too warm, then guys lower their sperm count. But even when they go in those freezing machines, those cryogenic freezing machines, like guys have to cover up their shit. Like, and if girls have too big of boobs, because the further it gets away from their flesh, like it becomes an appendage that can like freeze and damage it. So it just makes me think like maybe in the winter time too, like guys maybe should have like some comfy more comfier underwear that's keeping their shit warmer.
My
Y'all,
first husband was a surfer and we used to live in Southern California. And in the winter, he'd still surf and everything. And they had wetsuits. But he was like, honestly, he's like, it would be so nice if they had like a pair of freaking briefs that were wetsuit material that you wear under your wetsuit. It's
mm,
like, and call them like nut huggers or something. He's like, just to keep them a little bit
you
extra
should do it.
warm. And I know, so there's $1 million idea if somebody wants to make freaking nut
Yeah,
huggers for wetsuits.
yeah.
That is just a nightmare when that happens. When you
Y'all,
pee when you're taking a dump and you have to hold your thing down or else you'll shoot the pee out the hole of the seat.
let me tell you something. It
Like I just
matters.
what
The
go?
toilet. Last night I sat on the best toilet I've ever sat on in my life, and I know this sounds weird, but it's a $1 million toilet house. It was a gold bathroom, and I sat on this toilet, and I did not want to get up off of this toilet. It like conformed to your ass like perfectly. It was heated, and it had this steam that came and just like steamed the area, just like It was so
bougie.
amazing. I did not want to leave that fucking toilet. I had a bidet. I have bidets in my house, but I mean, this was an experience, and I would understand why men would spend hours sitting on their phones on a toilet like that because I
So
would
this
too.
is something that I'm learning right now, and I'm kind of amazed. Balls never get cold. So when guys' hands are cold, they put them down their pants because their balls are warm.
Huh.
That's what we do. That's what I do if I have cold hands. I'll put them in my boobs because it's like the warmest area. It'll stay warm. So tuck my hands in my boobs.
Like in your armpits, though.
Yeah, or sometimes in the middle, like I'll just find like a spot like in my bra and I'll like cup my boob. You know, it
No.
works. Or put them in my hair, in my scalp, because that's like really warm in there.
I
With
always feel
long
like
hair.
my belly's really warm in my head, but that's what
Yeah.
the hat really helps if I'm freezing. So I just am like, oh, I wonder, gosh, I'm so glad I don't have cold balls. But if balls are always warm, then I'm like, oh, that's probably why I'm always cold.
Hmm. So they don't get cold, huh?
Mm. Big up your warm ball self. Yeah, and it
Can,
is good. Like that's why women are. I don't think women ever really are. I don't. I think men are meaner to other men about getting like small shit in the pool or being cold outside than like guys tease other girls. Kind of know like, oh, it's cold,
yeah.
right? I don't
Hmm.
ever. I'm just like, oh, get in there. Like you said, mouse. Like go to your home. It's freezing out.
Well, in Jamaica, they have mongooses, right? Our homeless people are madmen, so they walk around naked. And a Jamaican madman with their tripod, if you want to talk about torture as a child, I mean, like me in like rush hour traffic, you look over and there's like a naked black homeless Jamaican guy walking all balls out, hood out, like to his
Biggest
knee.
dick you ever seen.
Ever, ever. Like I'll never forget too when my son I had to carry, not the sun in the sky, my real son. Um, Fuck, I keep making this phone call, not call. I'm calling. Okay, I had to carry him when he got chikungunya, Zika, right? So I get him and he's having seizures from fever, right? That's he was febrile, and I reach the hospital and there's hundreds of people there with their kids, you know. And I get to the counter and they're like, just go outside and go find a pipe and go hose him off. So I'm going out there to look for this line, and all of the parents with the moms with their sons, all of the fevers are like lined up to wait to use running water. And I felt shame for my son, you know, my little white boy son. I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, I can't believe I'm talking about this in real life, but yeah. The men in Jamaica are very hung, and apparently that is why Stella came here to get her groove back. And
Really
hot
hung.
or
Like
cold, there's no
that's
shame in their
it's
game.
like an American woman thing. I think that we all know that Jamaican men are hung, and I spent a lot of time in Jamaica as like a teenager, and I was like, both. Because there's just a lot of the islands, the Caribbean in general, some of them, like when you go to St. Martin, it's like the French side's clothing optional, and then the Dutch side's a little more strict and religious. But a lot of the islands, like Jamaica, even the Bahamas, like some are saying, it's like past homeless, but there's no need to wear clothes if they're crazy. Like they're not cold. So it's just like they're madmen and they're just naked. Like, but now I think a lot of the sanctuary cities that we were just talking about, they have a lot of naked men and women just like having sex and passed out doing drugs and taking shits like on street corners everywhere.
Where's that again?
I think like Los Angeles, New
Oh,
York,
well, yeah, yeah.
San Francisco, like
Well,
Portland,
all the big
Oregon,
cities, all the
Seattle,
ones that have been taken
Washington.
over. I do you think there's a divide that will happen on in the United States? How they predicted in 2025, how it's just going to split.
Um,
Do you think that?
I think that's what they're trying to build us toward, but I just don't think we've taken the bait of a lot of stuff. I think the Kyle Rittenhouse George Floyd thing was meant to set us off towards some kind of race war that never really happened.
Hmm,
Like
maybe.
I see all of their plays And I see a lot of like the media tell us we're buying into it, but when I talk to people in the real world in these places, it doesn't seem like we are.
Mm. I mean, around where I'm at, there's nothing bad going on here. I love it here. I'm glad I chose this place. I'm glad it's a small town. I'm glad it's not a big city. I'm glad for neighbors. I'm glad for, hey, neighbor. Like, it's so great, like getting to know who everyone is and where you live and like becoming part of a community and respecting each other. I missed that. I wanted that. I got it. And
I like it.
yeah,
I like knowing, like, if my dog gets into the like, if her dog gets into my yard, she knows she can just come knock on my door, or if, like, uh,
if
back
my
in the
cat's missing, which it
yeah, like
is,
oh.
like I know I can go and like post posters and I know I'll get my cat right away.
But I just, during storms or that we have a lot of fruit trees in our neighborhood. So, you're not going to eat all the fruit on your tree and just to knock and be like, hey, I wish happened more. And a friend of mine's kid was doing this when I was visiting her. And I was just like, big up your kid. I couldn't say it enough how impressed I was with this kid that he was pushing a lawnmower around to houses and knocking on doors and asking if they needed any work done. And this is stuff I used to do as a kid. And I just feel like, where are all the kids knocking on my door? I have teenage jobs for days. And there just seems to be like
They
a
knock on my
missing.
door.
Yeah, you have teenagers knock on your door like, you need weeds
Yeah,
pulled.
yeah, I do. I got
That's
a few.
awesome.
Yeah, I was like,
I
I was
just am
showing my
saying
brother.
something's wrong with the generation in
You see
general. I don't
this?
think it's like a neighborhood thing. I think it's a generational thing that there's no young kids it's
Well,
like not worth it to them to sweat anymore for money.
these kids were incredible. And I was telling my brother, I was like, look at this. This is a young, smart boy. Whoever raises these kids, incredible parents, taught them how to earn money, how to be a good neighbor. I'll give you a deal because you live in the neighborhood. Like, hey, do you want me to mow your lawn? I could do that for you. You don't have to worry about it. It's just, we missed that and we got that here too. It's incredible. So a lot of inspiration for others out there if you're watching. Do the neighborly thing.
I wasn't a teenage nudist, 3 eyes.
I used to go around shoveling snow in the city.
I
I would
worked
not.
my whole life, like, as
Ah,
soon as I could. Like, me and my brother, like, were little hustlers, and then a friend of mine's, parents owned a True Value Hardware, so when I was 12 years old, it was the first place that I could, like, actually, like, show up for a job every day after school, and, yeah, as soon as I could bust tables, I did when I was 14. As soon as I could wait a table, I did when I was, like, 16. I never remember not working, but I just also remember being that kid that I was always knocking on doors like, "Do you need your gutters cleaned? Do you want your weeds pulled? Do you want
I
your
was always
yard
pulling
mowed?"
weeds. Yeah.
I said I grew up in a nudist colony, but I wasn't a nudist. But, I went to a nudist colony a lot and spent time on a lot of Caribbean islands where clothing optional was a thing.
that's
I never
awesome.
really took part. Yeah, it wasn't ever really my thing. I'm actually really modest. I'm really hella modest, actually,
You know,
but
if
I
people
big
want to
up
be
people
nude
that are comfy nude.
and they want to go to those nude areas and there's not children there, you're an adult. Go do it. Power be to you. Just no kids. You see where the difference lies in that, like
Well, the
versus what
nudist
we
thing, and
see.
a lot of nudists will really like get like anti because there's swinging colonies that it's about sex, and then there's nudist colonies that if any swinging or sex, like there's rules in a nudist colony. You can't like slow dance. You're not allowed to have sexual like any kind of sexual behavior outside of closed doors. So you're not allowed to like make out with somebody. You're not allowed to like a nudist colony has rules, whereas like hedonism and going into these kind of like sexually explicit places, those are whole different things. So like you have to have a towel all the time in a nudist colony. You're never allowed to sit down on anything naked.
That's good.
Whereas hedonism and like those kind of things, you can stick anything up your butt. Like it's like a whole different thing. Like some people just like
Like Burning Man.
close or they just grew up in cultures with less clothes as well. Like there's a lot of Spaniards in the nudist colonies where like clothes just weren't as big of a deal. There's a lot of French people in nudist colonies where they like certain parts of their thing. It was like clothes wasn't even a thing. But yeah, I don't know. But I never been to any of those sexual hedonism type places,
Burning
but
Man
I know
festival is
they
like that, and
exist.
that's this weekend. And actually, there's always somebody that dies, like jumping in the fire or whatever. But the first night of it, before, yeah, a 39-year-old died the first night of Burning Man.
Yeah.
That's uh in the Burning Man file, and I know I said it here before, it's like redundant, but the guy that did the Cacophony Society out of I think San Francisco, and then one of the co-writers of Fight Club, they're the ones that created Burning Man. So kind of everything that you go through in the ritual of Burning Man is almost that of Fight Club, where you're like born again and nothing, like born
Mm.
again and nobody. So
Yeah.
it's curious.
You
Very
know,
secret society.
another woman died, and she was dead for 4 days before anyone even noticed.
Where at?
How
Oh yeah,
how
in
is
a
that?
bank. In a bank.
Which is
What?
interesting.
What?
4 days, and they said, oh, they have rotated shifts and stuff. And I'm like, okay, if that were the case, because different people would sit on the desk rotating, and different, like, it doesn't matter who it is, it could be like random people throughout the week. But it took 4 days. Where were the other people scheduled for that shift or those shifts sitting in that space where others supposed to occupy it? 4 fucking days. People in and out and did not notice that the 60-year-old woman was dead, head down on the desk.
I wonder
Sus.
I wonder if I won't ask because we'll get pulled off YouTube.
Oh, the the
Uh,
jibbity jabbity juice.
that was pretty good.
Jibbity jibbity
Jibbity jabbity juice.
Uh huh.
Jibbity jabbity boost.
Yeah.
That's good.
Jibbity poppity boop. The
Yeah.
magic. The
I feel
magic
like I
stuff.
could have her come across and instead of a wand, she has a needle. And then we don't have to say anything anymore. We'll just overlay her and
Oh,
it'll say jibbity
with
jabbity
the
juice.
needle. Exactly.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love
This
that.
is great. Why didn't we think of this forever
I've
ago?
always said it.
No, I just meant like the overlay of being
Yeah.
able to like even if
I
I
never sang it though.
feel like we have Dr. Fauci or something across it. Big ups,
Jibbity
Dr.
jabbity.
Fauci. I'm just
Love
messing
you,
with the
man.
censors.
Love you so much.
On Wednesdays, you guys, about this time, we probably will cut the YouTube stream and just go over to Rumble and
Let's get ready to
X,
rumble.
Twitter, Twata X. So, and we are this Wednesday. It might take us a couple rough weeks. I don't know if we'll have a topic this Wednesday because we want to make sure we get all of our rhetoric down.
Yeah.
And on Wednesdays for Lodge 1202, we're like going to open the door and you guys are going to be part of a secret society. And we're going to start it on stream and go through all the stuff that these secret societies really do. But we're gonna we're gonna mock it essentially, and
Pretty much.
while we learn about it and see why they have all the things and the things that they say and the repetitive of things. So hold on to your hats in ways because we're gonna try to have an official lodge meeting and go through these things, but you guys will all be there with us and you guys can take as much part in the fun as you want to. And yeah, and
It's gonna
hopefully
be fun.
it'll be fun. We want to have like scavenger hunts. We want,
Can't
if
wait.
you're somebody that money's your currency, we want there to be things for you, but we don't want that to be the only thing if money's not your currency that you share. Like if the internet's your currency you share, or if you're big mouse we want that to matter as well. And we want to learn things that they say isn't real or that are keystones to other ideas. Like it might be things like one night we might have, Gordy on to just talk about, or like from those conspiracy guys to just talk about the Federal Reserve. And we might, just Thomas might just tell us about words we can't say on here. But once we go over to Rumble, we'll be able to like break down Thrill Oxide and really get into it, and adrenaline and things of like Hunter S. Thompson and Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. We'll be able to talk about things deeper without putting them in coded languages. And hopefully we'd like to build it all up so that we also have like fun merch to give you guys, and free
It's gonna
stuff.
be interactive.
And we want it to be real interactive, and we want you guys to kind of take part in it too, and part of the silly symbols and building them and the memes and the gifs. So it'll hopefully be a real secret society of good guys, and hopefully you guys will have fun with it.
Yeah.
Because as above, so below. And if we're just here trying to make the world a little better in all the places we're at, and you guys are all trying to make the world a little better in the places that you're at, then why can't we think that maybe it's happening everywhere? And, Hell's Angels are taking out Venezuelan bike gangs, because why
Yeah.
not? Why can't we? And this is the other thing. Isn't a Hell's Angel just a demon?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Iblis.
A fallen angel, right?
Yeah, so it's like the demons are on their way to Aurora.
Mm,
And then I don't know what the Venezuelan gang is, but they probably have a name. So it would be curious of what the whole like battlefield of what is really being set up, or what the media is trying to conjure.
Gog Magog.
I have a question. You said as above, so below. What if it's as below, so above?
That's the
The
whole
upside
point.
down.
As
But
below,
we
so
started.
above, so below, as within, so without, as without, so within. It's supposed to be all, that's it. It's supposed
Why
to
did
be
they
all.
start it with that? When we are the now, we should say as below us, and then as above.
But
So
we
if
could be
we're,
the above.
but we could be the above. Fucking shit. Yeah, you're right. Fucking a.
And
You're
we're the
right.
within. That's the part they always forget. As within, so without.
Yeah.
Like that's the part everybody always talks about, the as above, so below.
I'm just thinking about why that word first. That's all. But you make sense. You're right.
We could be
Fucking
the
shit.
above. Hollow Earth.
Yeah.
In Colorado, if the idea of Howard Hughes and Howard Hughes's whole thing with the spruce goose and a wooden airplane, and he felt like if you really wanted to get into the hollow earth, then you wouldn't find the most quote unquote shallow spot on the earth and drill down. You'd find the highest point on the earth and drill in.
Yeah.
And then because all those would eventually hit the caverns that would allow you to go into hollow earth. And so if that's the case, like Pikes Peak is one of the biggest highest points in America. So then
Yeah.
it's like the whole Rocky Mountains are all these high points. Why wouldn't
Yeah.
they? And then here's a Loveland Pass in Colorado is like, I always thought this was interesting, just with the like, what is that? Where the meridian, not the meridian divides. What's that called? Where all the water on one side of it goes to the Mississippi and the water on the other side goes to the Pacific? Right in Loveland Pass in Colorado. It has a name. Somebody in the chat will know.
Loveland Pass.
But it's like a line in the country, like the high point in the country, where it's like all the way across, where all the water that hits one side goes into the Mississippi and the other side goes into the Pacific. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if Summer's there or not. I don't think she is. I like how she just
She
flies
said
in
she was
and
gonna
out.
be in and out. Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, oh, my crickets. Oh,
Bippity boppity boop.
yeah. I don't know if she's there or not right now. So Venezuelan bike gangs. And part of it, it's like if we had all of, let's say, we get the world locked down before the elections last time to make sure that everything doesn't go off because the elite need the American political structure so bad, then if nobody's falling for monkeypox this time, what else do they have up their sleeve to make sure the elections go down? Maybe the Venezuelan bike gangs are just the beginning of it, or like this kind of upheaval. is just like a new lockdown. Like, what other ways can they keep you in your house? Maybe civil unrest?
There's a
Yeah.
lot
It
of
seems
it.
to be important for some reason for them to lock us in our houses and for us to work from home.
They're trying to push that so hard. What state was it? Boston, I think. A couple of counties are already starting curfews in their towns because of these. Like one person had some virus, another like three people had three cases of different kinds of virus, and I think two or three counties set up curfew measures.
I mean, isn't
And like
curfew the dumbest thing for a virus?
so dumb. What the virus sleeps at night? Okay,
So silly. They're like
That-
these
they'll
sick,
buy it.
the sick sex or like the sex workers are going to be out spreading the virus. Like, I don't know. It's crazy.
This is where like I'm like I get the elite sometimes when people are that stupid just to believe blindly and not even ask questions, just inject shit just because they were told to.
Yeah,
If you're
like
that
sometimes you're
stupid,
like, why are
like
we being cattled in with them?
if you're that stupid, honestly, like go do it. Go do it. I get it. You're dumb. You won't get it, but you'll pay the price for it. That's how I look at it. I get what they're doing. It's like clean out stupid, clean them out. Because it is. It's ridiculous at this point. Like to do your due diligence for your own self, for your own
But then it's
body.
like, okay, if you can't work and feed your family unless you follow through too, it's like some form of like a mark of the beast. But then even in the writings of like revelations and like tribulation, they want us to have a whole people that don't get the mark of the beast. Like, so that's even in the writings is like a whole bunch of people are not going to get it.
But yeah, because if you get it, you're damning yourself to hell, pretty much.
Stupid.
And so it's just curious too how many people aren't religious people at all, but they're like, that shit's the mark of the beast.
So stupid. It's so dumb.
Yeah, how
It's
do you not believe in God, but you believe in all that?
it's illogical. Like it makes no sense. Let me just shove chemicals in my blood in my body, because this person on the fucking TV screen said I should do it. It's bizarre. It's laughable.
It's so
Like I get it.
crazy.
I get why they do it.
There are schools that have cat boxes in the restrooms because kids are allowed to identify as cats. What? This is the problem I have of whatever it is if you decide in your loony fucking bin that you are in space, I don't have to pretend I'm weightless while I'm at work all day.
I have an off-air story about this, but I can't talk about it online.
I don't have to LARP that I'm a shark all day to make you fucking feel comfortable. So this new fucking world that we're fucking in, man, that we have to have a litter box and my child has to have a litter. He has to sit next to a fucking person that you guys all humor and let me yow all day. My kid isn't insane. My kid's not crazy. You're allowing this to be a crazy house. That's not equality, is making us all go down to the lowest common denominator. Like, what the fuck? When I heard this shit, I talked to two moms today. I could have melted on the floor with the shit they told me that was happening in school. I could have, like, no, you're joking to me. Like, this isn't real. Your kids are joking to you. This is not okay.
I have something to tell you guys off air. I can't do it on air.
And then I was like, does the cat have
but...
to wear a uniform to school? Does the cat have to, like, if you identify differently, do you not have to wear the uniform, Will Smith? Like, get out of here.
I can't. And I get it. Do you see why I say sometimes I get the elite? I get it. You're going to go that far to, like, literally change your whole body. Cut yourself, mutilate yourself.
Remember when that guy said, I am not a cat.
I'm a couch. I'm a lamp. Yeah. Good job, Bill Gates.
I'm a toaster. Happy little toaster.
Yeah, it's just the lack of interesting adults that we're going to, upon meeting, like, no joke. like upon meeting you have to tell me your fucking made up fucking name? Like, can you just call me Maverick? There's
How
fucking
does
chicks out there that look no different than me, and they're like, I'm them. They call me fucking Twisted Pickle as my name, and they're like, this is the other thing. The trans fucking men fucking at least try Caitlyn Jenner to talk like a man, a woman. God
Okay,
damn
you
it.
know what's funny? There's a thing going on with the trans community now. Like actual trans women who look really girly are calling out these weird trans men who are like not really trans but are like acting like they're trans, and they're like who are saying that they're a woman. They're like, you're not a woman, I'm a trans woman. That does not mean I'm a real woman, and I'll never be a real woman. And there's a whole thing of these, like, it's growing, the number is growing, where
Oh,
they're
good.
coming out and like giving them the facts, like, you don't have a uterus, you do not have a period, point blank period. And I'm just like, yes. And I'm starting to follow these people because I'm okay with adults doing whatever the fuck you want. You want to do that, but you're involving children. That's where we have a fucking problem. And a lot of you weirdos out there don't fucking get it. In school, litter boxes, bro. And the janitors, poor guy has to fucking scoop that shit out. You're insane. You're insane. You're insane.
Well,
Seek help.
at my school, we go by what's on the birth certificate. I will say that.
Okay. Good job, school.
Ugh. It just, the whole entire thing, like the idea of, and then how much of the curriculum of the time that it's already fucking loony bins that a child has to sit still for 8 hours in a class and then get up 45 minutes, or 8 hours at the same in the same class all day, and then part of that 8 hours, how much of it do they have to learn about Looney Tunes? Like, how much of it are they just getting just inundated with Looney Tunes? Do you know how much Looney Tunes I get inundated? You know how much, like, if you're in a whatever company you work for and you have to sit down for your, like, oh, be nice to other humans class, and here's the things you're not allowed to say because of transgender people? What? What? It's wild. It's wild.
Yeah.
We're in a wild world. Ooh,
really
baby, it's a wild world. Anyways, yeah.
Dude, like,
I
again,
birthing persons.
that's rude. That is so rude.
Well, you're damn right I'm a birthing person because I'm a woman. A woman is a birthing person. Period.
I just hate
We
the
have the
word
ability to do
birthing
it.
person.
Oh, I
Yeah,
know.
but
I
when
do
you
too.
ask them what a birthing
I ain't a
person
person. I'm a
is,
woman.
it's
I'm a woman.
anyone
And then they'll
who
argue because they'll be like, well, not all women can
womb,
have kids.
womb. But I have a womb. Every woman has a womb, whether they can have whether they can birth
Womb
children or
man.
not.
yeah,
Yeah.
and y'all have the mock-up Chinatown version. False.
It has to be
Not the
irrigated because it
original
smells bad
divinely
from what I
made.
hear.
Layla, you got
You
a
have
Chinatown
it's Chinatown
womb.
copy. Okay, that's it.
Swap meat
That's all
copy.
I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Garbage, imitation, not the real thing, not the same thing.
It's like
Sorry.
the Louis Vuitton bags with the really, really light handles.
With the best
The
designer
swap meat.
known
Swap
to
meat
all of
stuff.
existence. Thank you very much.
Oh my gosh. Timu clits. They got that.
Timu sends me the weirdest fucking ads.
They got that. They got that. Shein pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is straight from China now that you mention it.
Yep. Straight from China.
When a government doesn't care and there's no God or moral compass involved, then they sure don't care. It's just all about having a like elite army. That's why I think it's interesting too. It's like all of our boys that are war age boys are all in other countries right now. All or locked up. And so that is why I'm so grateful. This is another thing why I'm grateful to be an American is that the oath that Abbie said about defend against enemies,
Support and
foreign
defend.
and domestic.
Yeah.
That's a lot of my veteran friends, and they've been out for a long time, but they always are like that oath
It meant
they
something.
don't care about their whether or not they were during the time they were serving, they'll always serve. And they even say like their time to serve, and they hope it never comes to this, but will be training us. And that is like what that would be their worst case scenario, would have to train their sisters and their daughters to fight alongside of them. That would be their worst fucking case scenario. But in that Viking fucking way, or in like we are here to fight alongside of them if need be. I hope I
Yeah.
never have to. That's why I love my American men, is that like most of them are like, I don't want a lady to fight alongside me. I'm good. And, but if need be in that way, like, you know, like Polish women are badass. They can fucking fight hand to hand combat because their country's been taken over before. And so sometimes I'm like, I hope our country doesn't have to get taken over for us to like realize what we had or have. And, you know, yeah, there's so many psyops and so many fake things, but even the
Like,
ability to do this is kind of
so many
wild.
Americans against America is what's pissing me the fuck off. I don't understand it. Like they think Republicans, they call them enemy of the state. No, we want to save this country. Y'all want to destroy it. Why you want to destroy it, I don't know. A lot of these people that are here in this country escaped something because of the idea of freedom, and y'all want to take that fucking away. And it's boiling my blood. That's why I'm here. We escaped something because we no longer wanted to deal with that oppression. That's why we're here. And to see Americans destroy this country, do not forget the immigrants in this conversation. Americans. I'm just like, it's sad. It's disrespectful. Veterans. I'm seeing veterans on TikTok here. Like, I don't get it. Like, what did you fight for? Like, I don't get it. There's some of these veterans out here are like against America. They're against freedom. They're against the Pledge of Allegiance. One character was upset. A veteran was upset that his daughter had to say the Pledge of Allegiance in school. And you're a veteran. You call yourself a veteran. Shut the fuck up. And this is coming from a fucking immigrant. It's sad.
The weird part is it's like I don't know about a pledging of allegiance. Like, should you have to be forced to pledge allegiance? No. But should a pledge of allegiance maybe still be in a classroom if you're teaching about the fucking trans? Then maybe yes. Like, I don't understand how there isn't like there has been where should your kids have to pray in school? No. Should kids be allowed to pray in school? Yes. And so there's these things that it's like we've come to
I
these
don't
certain
agree with that.
places where a lot of other things are getting taught in schools where all these other things aren't allowed, where it's like, whoa.
Check
If I
this
had
out.
to fight, I became citizen. I had to say the Pledge of Allegiance, and I said it proudly. Will I fight for Albania first or America first? Which one do you think I would choose? I'm proud Albanian, but which country do you think I would choose to fight for?
America.
Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America proudly.
So check this out. Oklahoma just passed a law this year that, we've always done the moment of silence and everything, but now they've changed it to where it's no longer you cannot call it the moment of silence by law. Like you have to say a minute of silence. So weird. Like
Yeah.
why?
I don't know.
I guess so that kids have time to pray. I don't know, but I thought that was really kind of a bizarre new thing that just passed this year.
They probably also, I mean, if you think of the Pledge of Allegiance, like if I'm just going to break it down like a real Democrat, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States. So you're already saying the United States, like they don't really want the States United of America, and to the republic for which it stands. And they don't want anyone to know it's a republic. They've been calling it a democracy since the Clintons. And one nation under God, indivisible with liberty and justice for all. So it's
I
like
love that.
everything in it, though, they don't want anyone to know. They don't want anyone to feel that for themselves.
I love that. I love that pledge. I don't give a shit what anybody thinks. I fucking love it. I honor it. Like, yeah, it's prideful, but hey, I'll deal with God when it comes to that. I am so thankful that I'm in this country. You guys have no idea. And so many fucking people can say that. And you want to be offended by saying the Pledge of Allegiance to this flag and you're a fucking ex veteran? Shut the fuck up. Don't call yourself that. Sorry. That
Well,
flies
that a
me.
lot of veterans would
I'm not
say
sorry. Fuck
they
that.
fought for your right not to. Like they fought the same for your right to pledge the flag or burn it. Like that
Yeah,
is the
they
That's
freedom
do.
they
true.
fought for.
Because
They fought
that's
for you to not have to be forced to stand.
my father was a Vietnam veteran, and when he came back, like he was crazy. He had post traumatic stress really hardcore, and he was working at the construction site, and this hippie came in and was, flag burning hippie. Was They told him like, don't talk to that guy. He's fucking crazy, and he's like, and I'm the motherfucker who's like, don't tell me who to talk to. So he goes over and he strikes up a conversation with my dad, and they're like, they're never gonna get along because my dad was like staunch, like USA, and this guy's literally burns flags, and they became the best of friends. My dad's like, I fought for your right to do that. He didn't give a shit.
Yeah, I knew like some veterans, and it broke their heart when they saw people burn flags,
Yeah,
but not for them as much as the brothers that died.
died. Yeah,
They're like, heartbreak that they can't ever express, and so it was just like that's what hurts them most about it.
what hurt my dad the most was like watching, when the Gulf War and stuff happened, and everybody was so supportive and putting up yellow ribbons and all that stuff, and like calling all these service members heroes, and he came home and was spit on and called baby killer. And he's like, you know it really, I'm glad that people are supporting veterans, but it really hurts
Yeah.
the way we were
Yeah,
treated versus the way that they're treated
the
now.
Desert Storm and
Yeah.
the once the ribbons went around the tree, and a lot
Yep.
of Vietnam vets were like totally shysted, and all of a sudden it was like all of these, like they were heroes again.
Yeah.
And so even a lot of Vietnam vets, like when you thank them for their service, like now it's like they've made it through this whole other thing that they still have this pride of, like,
Hardcore.
oh yeah, they'll stand up straight, like, you're
Yeah.
welcome.
He
It was
wanted
my
the
honor.
Yep. He wanted the 21, gun salute or whatever at his funeral. It was pretty awesome.
Ugh. Every time I hear that, choke.
You brought okay. Someone just as I was about to say, someone said we're not deadly. I was saying I had a friend that actually has Gulf War syndrome from Gulf War, like a vaccine thing that he got injured with for going over there. But when you say stand up for
Allegedly.
America, allegedly, sorry, fuck, sorry, I don't know the rules.
It's
I'm
okay.
listen,
They
the
didn't, the
blood.
censors will never understand.
But it just
Keep
made me
going,
think
Tums.
when you say if you go to the anthem before
You're breaking up.
the movie starts. So
Does Jamaica have a national anthem? Sums? Oh, maybe she'll be back. I mean, I think every country does. That's the other thing, with like the national anthem and things like that. I hate that our national anthem sounds just like the Queen, like we're hailing the Queen.
Yeah, they have one.
No, but have you heard theirs compared to ours?
No, I'm looking at it. It's
Hold on.
called Jamaica, Land We Love. I don't know the lyrics.
It's not Jamaica. We have a bobsled team. Why is that song always?
You always have to
I think of a song in Jamaica. I have to go there.
Yes. Eternal Father, bless our land. Guard us with thy mighty hand. Keep us free from evil powers. Be our light through countless hours. Ooh, I love this. To our leaders, great defender, grant true wisdom from above. Justice, truth, be ours forever. Jamaica, land we love. Jamaica, 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 land we love. Teach us true respect for all. Stir response to duty's call. Strengthen us, the weak, to cherish. Give us vision, lest we perish. Knowledge send us, Heavenly Father. Grant true wisdom from above. Justice, truth be ours forever. Jamaica, land we love.
Well,
I
Wow.
that
love
is a
it.
powerful spell.
Ah, that's amazing.
I love it. You know, the Jamaican flag is the only flag that doesn't have red, white, or blue in it.
Hmm. And wait, the Jamaican flag is the only flag? No,
It doesn't have red, white, or blue in it.
we don't have red, white, and blue.
Red, white, or blue. You don't
You
have
have red
either
in
any of.
yours.
Oh, I have red. Theirs, what colors is theirs?
Black, yellow, and green.
Black, yellow, and green. I wonder what the combination of those colors would come out.
I just
Hector in the
believe
chat
in.
said, I just became Jamaican.
He just held his hand up. He's officially Jamaican.
Yeah.
Well,
I bet you too. He has to. He's like way well hung now. If you take that, you like add 3 inches. I heard allegedly.
Witchcraft, everybody. Witchcraft. Was it because I said it? What if it was a man who just read that? Would you guys be calling it witchcraft?
That's so funny. Yeah. Layla just read the Jamaican national anthem. Witchcraft. Witchcraft.
burn that bitch.
That is so
Oh,
funny.
you won't be prepared for the show coming up then.
Oh,
Yeah,
I know. I know. I hope you guys are
be
ready.
prepared. Oh, and I can't wait for the comments. Ooh, I love
How
it.
did we witch last year? We never did we? We got a
Um,
witch.
Witch this year
Yeah.
for
Yeah, and we're
Halloween.
not doing the
Yeah.
green face switch because the green
We
face
can be
switch
kind of
is
witch we want.
symbology for something bad, and I don't like it.
What about if I want to be Wicked Witch of the West Indies and I want to be totally green?
I love the green witch. I love it
Yeah,
all.
but do you know what that
You can be
represents?
any kind of witch you want.
The green witch
Whichever witch you
represents a bruised woman after like it starts to heal, like after it's been beat, as purple and green and starts to turn green. That's where it comes from. The long nose and the really long chin. It's from her beatings. It's like a representation of her being ugly and deformed, because all the women that were called a witch, they were tortured. I mean, to the point where their nails from being tortured were like out of their fingers. I mean, their entire body's bruised, hair looking all wild and disheveled. Um, that's where they get that inspiration of the green witch, like ugly and
I thought she was just like the embodiment of Oz, and that's why she was born with green skin. Because
oh, I don't know about
in
that.
in that story, Elphaba.
What is it? Elphaba. What's Elphaba?
That's the name of the Wicked Witch of the West.
That's her whole name or her first name?
Elphaba. Her first name, Elphaba.
Is there a story of the 2 witches before Dorothy?
Yeah, there's witches in cartoons.
No. Like, is there a story of those 2 witches? Like, is there a story of Glinda and Elphaba as children?
The whole Wicked story gets into it. I don't know. I bet you Oz, like the Wizard of Oz series, probably does too, because it gets into the Wicked Witch of the East, the one that the house was dropped on, and that's Elphaba's sister, and she's red, like red skin.
She was a red witch.
Yeah.
They red witches are a big deal. It's a whole type of magic, red magic and red witches. They even, Game of Thrones, red witches, they pay homage to that a little bit as well.
She did a lot of like chopping up body parts and stuff, and like she created the Tin Man.
Hmm. Do each of them come from a different spell? Each of the animals
Body
that walk
parts.
with, or people that walk with her, things that walk with her?
I think so. Like Alfabo is obsessed with like animal rights and stuff. So she did like she experimented on animals, but it was really
Made
like
chimeras,
yeah,
chimeras,
chimeras.
chimeras,
Yeah.
chimeras. Can't ever say it. Yeah, but that's what the flying monkeys and everything were. And
Yep.
I just have to say, even as a young child, they couldn't make the Cowardly Lion cute. Like, it
I
was
know.
always so ugly. Like, it was a lion and it was so ugly.
Weird. It was
It's
It was
okay.
weird.
weird. Yeah. I didn't like that. Yeah. Yeah. Like, I hated it. And even when he's brave, he's not brave. He's like,
Oh.
yeah, I couldn't. That was so good,
It was
Abbie.
So
good. I'm
good.
so proud of myself.
Okay, listen. So you might have lost your singing voice, but you might be working into this whole new genre
I
of
know.
impersonations that you
Yeah.
never knew were there before. And so even the voice of Lisa Simpson, she was the girl on Billie Jean. Remember we watched that
Yeah.
movie?
Oh God.
Yeah,
Yes, it was
she was.
her.
Yeah, so maybe you just you're finding your
Yeah. You're
Hey, I could sing
hidden
T-Boz
talent.
like a motherfucker.
T-Boz, that's your part of the TLC group. I'm
Yep.
Left Eye. When we do our video, I'm Left Eye.
Okay.
It's
Period.
perfect. You're chilly, Layla.
You you brought up Left Eye. Went down this rabbit hole of Salt and Pepper in their videos, and I think it was some kind of sex. I forgot what song it was called, but one of them is definitely a tranny, like
Let's talk
100%.
about sex, baby. Peppa.
Yes,
Peppa's
yeah.
a, Peppa's a big bitch.
If you look at that video again, you'll see what I'm talking about.
Peppa's a big bitch, and she dated Trench from Naughty by Nature for a period of time. And Salt dated Tupac for
Be
a
so
period of time.
horny.
And then Spinderella. Spinderella cut it up one time. Help me. Yeah. Come on.
He got me
I don't
open
know
like a
the I don't know the
7-Eleven.
lyrics.
Let's talk about sex, baby.
I know
Let's
that part.
talk about you and me. That's the song I was guessing you were talking about. Yeah.
Let's talk about sex.
Left Eye,
Ow!
Last Days of Left Eye. If you guys haven't yet, super interesting
So good.
documentary. I highly recommend, even in your conspiratorial brain, to mix a little bit with the Church of Hollywood and everything with Death Row Records and like lining up her life. And they don't even go into how much. I think you could actually watch a TLC documentary if you extra want to geek out, where they go all into her and Andre Rison's whole relationship and like her lighting the house on fire and stuff. You could watch that first. But even if you just watch The Last Days of Left Eye, it's even interesting to me. Somebody said hoodoo in the chat earlier, and like that obia hoodoo voodoo type way. She felt like something dark was following her.
Mm.
And then her car hits a kid and kills the kid, and she's in the car, and his last name's Lopez. And then a couple days later, she dies. And she felt like the kid shouldn't have died. She felt like it should have been her. And it's like nobody, like the accident wasn't even that bad that she died in. It's pretty wild.
Did she really die though?
And she has premonition for it. Maybe not,
I don't
but
think so.
yeah.
The entire documentary was filmed. She was in the whole, which I like. I don't
It's a
think
perfect
so.
setup if she wants to go out.
It was great.
And her name is Left Eye. Like one, all her symbolism.
It's so laughable sometimes.
Yeah, and she said that, and like that's out of the Atlanta scene. There, Jermaine Dupri. You also, if you want to get into like, this is so geeky. Jermaine Dupri's first group was Criss Cross. So then you have Criss Cross, which is the double cross, and he has young kids that he's making put their clothes on backwards, so their little tiny asses are in the front. So it is like a pedo setup from Jermaine Dupri, and then he does everything right by the elite. He kind of becomes the king of Atlanta, so much so he gets paid off with Janet Jackson. I just think that's wild.
It is wild. All of it's wild.
It makes me want to scream. No pun intended. That's a deep cut.
Makes me want
When you look at it as a game, then you understand it a little bit. If you look at this reality as a game,
it's
and the
late.
game is like literally believing in yourself and what you want.
And I think
Literally.
this too. I think a lot of these kids, like some of them blackmail obvious things. Some of them are born into it. Some of them, I think, make deals that they don't realize. Like when they say a deal with the devil, there's like when we talk about mafia and families that could be following you all the time, or bike gangs like Hell's Angels that might be able to follow you all the time, or things like that, like things that can make you seem I totally lost my train of thought. What was I just talking about?
Belief.
I fucking totally lost my train of thought. I'm so far away from it now.
Well, I was thinking like, they believe in themselves so much so that things happen for them, whatever the case is and however they do it. But if you want to believe it in a spiritual sense or religious sense, it even says it in the Bible. If you want to believe that you can make that mountain move, if you have that much faith in that belief and
The
in
faith of a
yourself,
mustard seed. Yeah.
you could fucking have that mountain move. When it will happen or how it will happen, you don't know, but it's all in your belief and in your faith. And that is so true. It is the truest thing on this earth. The belief of whatever it is that is you want to go for, you can make it happen if you believe in yourself enough. It's wild.
I
It's a
totally
game.
lost my first train of thought, but every time somebody says mustard seed, I always think it's crazy that an eye of newt is a mustard seed. And so anytime witches would start their spells with eye of newt, they were starting it with the belief of a mustard seed.
Faith. Yeah.
And so anytime alchemists, the first rule of alchemy is what? Mentalism,
Yeah.
right? So
Like when
it's
you're
like
riding a bike and you're about to hit a pole and you close your eyes and you're, no, I'm not going to hit it, and you don't hit it and you're supposed to hit it. That same idea. And you can't believe that you didn't hit the pole. You're like, how the fuck am I still on the bike?
Do you ever want? Okay, but then that
Oh,
leads me
yeah.
to the same because I've had a near-death experience
I
like
was
that
gonna
where
say some of them make deals, like all of the ways they get into like their deep stuff. Some of them make a deal when they're younger, like let's say 23, 19. They're looking for fame. They're a hip hop artist. They're a great guitar player, whatever it is. And they say to some person, I'll give you everything you want, but you're going to give me your firstborn. That means nothing to you at 19. Years
Yeah.
go by. You're 31 years old now, and all of
Mhm.
a sudden, men in suits show up and you're like, what? Like, that's kind of stuff I think happens too.
what
Yeah.
That
fairy tale is that? The little guy that spun like the girl needed to spin gold or whatever.
Rumpelstiltskin,
Rumpelstiltskin.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. I haven't heard about that story in a long time.
creepy.
But also, like, kind of takes you back to the whole Nicolas Cage of it all, the Ghost Rider, where he makes a deal with the devil because he's like he's desperate to save his dad's life, and he's like, yeah, just do it. Like, doesn't even realize what he's actually doing, and then his dad's better, and then he fucking dies in an accident the next day.
A deal with the devil. I know. That was the craziest thing on the Friday night show when we were talking and we were like, "Oh my gosh, he still lost to the devil even though
I mean,
like
I was
that
thinking
blew
about
my
that.
mind." I thought I've been
Yeah.
thinking about like the Ouroboros of that, like the whole song, and I was like, "Does the writer of the song know he lost to the devil?" Like, you
I
know
don't
how they
know.
say there's a third, we always talk about like there's the first meaning everyone sees, and there's the esoteric meaning, like the hidden, and then there's another one, like the third, like there's always a third meaning behind any great art. Is
Yeah.
that the third meaning behind it? Like, did we like, oh my gosh, the devil went down to Georgia. He still lost. Like, he still lost to the devil. I don't
Yeah.
know. That blew my mind when we were talking about that Friday.
Me
A
too,
lot of things blew
actually.
my mind Friday, honestly. It was such a
It
interesting
was
show.
fun.
Yeah.
It
I
was a
had
good
fun
episode.
Friday night.
Yeah, it was a great episode.
I don't
There we
remember
go.
so much of it, but stop messing with Abby's hair. That's what it looked like. Oh shit. What else? Anything else go on in the week, chat, that we have to discuss before we hit the dusty trail? DDT. Anything for you guys? I have things too that I'm like, oh, I can't wait to bring this up with the ladies.
Do it.
I need to start like texting myself those things.
Yeah, because
So
if
I
I write
have
it
a
down
little
somewhere, I
list.
don't know where I write it down.
Yeah, I just need to start it on my list because sometimes just little stuff happens throughout the week that's specifically for here.
And a
Yeah.
lot of times, things pop into my head while I'm doing something in the middle of doing something, and I'm in that zone state, which is at work. And I have like thoughts. I'm mixing drinks, and poof, poof. I can't just stop and like, you know. It's like, ugh. I need a recording device. Think this is a thought, da, real quick, but I don't want to wear that shit at the
I
same
know,
time.
me either.
So, I hate devices. I really do.
Yeah.
If they didn't have
Yeah.
radiation, no problem, but that's the problem.
Yeah, their name is kind of blah 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 blah. Carol Baskin. I never seen anything Tiger King.
In a while.
No, I never watched
I didn't
any
either.
Oh yeah,
part.
yeah, me neither.
There's something I call it's like actually something when I watched it happen where I was like every one of the Roganite, like, you know how there's like Rogan and then there's the offshoot podcasts that are like, your mom's house and Fighter and the Kid, and there's all these other like people that are always Bert Kreischer, they're always on Rogan and their podcast, and I watched all the podcasts that came off theirs, like a little pyramid from Rogan, and I'm like, oh my gosh, everyone's watching the Tiger King. It became like they pushed it, and then it became the pop song, and then everyone watched it at the same time, and everyone was talking about the Tiger King, and everyone had inside jokes about the Tiger King, and I was like, this
I
is
never got
weird.
into it.
And so I call it, like, even when the octopus teacher came out or when everyone's doing any one thing, I'm like, nope, I'm not going to do this. This is a Tiger King.
Well, I
That's just
couldn't
what
even
I
watch
call.
Titanic. Like everybody's like, "Oh, it's such a good movie," and I was like, "Nah,
I
I'm not
did.
doing that." Like, I did years later, but I waited a very fucking long time to watch it.
I
Like,
went
I
7
can't.
times. I was
When people go
I
like
get
that, I
I'm
can't.
so late to things. Like I don't mind being the last of the party.
I like to be the last part. Like, I don't know why. I just feel
I was
like
Leonardo DiCaprio obsessed at the time. Like I loved him. I loved him in everything. I was obsessed with him.
I liked him too, but for whatever reason, I just like when something is that popular, I cannot do it. Like, I have to wait until it's not.
Yeah. How old was I? I think I was like 13 or 14 when it came out. I was a little girl.
That's
At
my little
posters at the yeah,
oppositionist.
yeah.
Psyop much, somebody wrote, and I'm just like, that's the funniest thing is that every single thing that's on any of your screens is a psyop. Every
It
single
is.
thing, your screen was just put there to psyop you. It was never there
Oh,
to inform you.
Yeah.
that's what I heard tonight.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Russia is all off the coast with all these ships with the button and their nuclear or weapons of mass destruction. And I was like, y'all quit watching the TV. They're like, oh, I didn't get it from the TV.
Do you know what I saw interesting about a TV? In Albania, this artist, this is his show. It was fucking fascinating, and people still don't get it. Albanians will never get it because they're hardhead. They don't think outside the box. He has a TV and he starts dropping eggs on the TV screen. And people are like, oh, he left. He just took a box of eggs and started dropping it on a TV screen and fucking left. And he's like, oh, he left and he didn't explain himself. I was like, what do you need to explain? The TV scrambles your brain. That's like literally, that's what it's telling you. It'll
It's
scramble
making
your
a
fucking
metaphor.
brain.
Yeah,
It's a metaphor. This is what it is. It's making your brain into an egg. It's
it's your
melting
brain
it.
on
It's
drugs.
scrambling it. Like that was the message, and I thought it was beautiful. Beautiful. Destroy the TVs. Destroy them. Just
Doesn't the word psyop and is it like one-eyed?
sigh up. Yeah. See up. See up.
No, it would be Ock. Or at least in my Latin. It wouldn't be op. Sorry.
Well, C. The C is the C in it. The psyop. The C is I.
Oh, sigh. Yeah.
Yeah. In my language. Sorry, guys.
No, I knew I was like,
Oh, that's
and
what I
sigh. Yeah, go
Mhm.
on.
this week. Speaking of TV, the TV was on in my house, and I happened to see a commercial, and I never like watch regular TV with commercials, and it was about it was a sleep apnea commercial, and it had like since I have sleep apnea now, it had a whole bunch of people with their different like sleep apnea masks, and like, oh, we have a sleep apnea support group, a CPAP support group, and it was like, if you're tired of your CPAP machine, blah 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 blah. So I was like, wait, I'm listening to this, like I'm engaged in it because now I sleep with one, and they have this new sleep apnea implant.
What
I
the
was
fuck?
like, yeah, like what would that do to your fucking breathing on a normal like it's great for sleeping. I like my CPAP machine now. It took me a while to get used to it, but like that idea scares me to have an implant that's like regulating my breathing.
Yeah, if you get to that point, like you should just stop what you're doing if you need to implant something for your breathing.
I think anything that fucking fucks up your breathing, like, or it just
Yeah,
all weirds me out.
it's
Yeah,
all
that's what
weird.
gives
Even the
me.
CPAP is weird, but it's you know, I feel like
Or
I
like
can rest it
pacemakers,
now. Yeah.
like,
Nah,
because,
dog.
like, yeah, pacemakers are, you know, more prevalent.
I don't know, man.
It's all probably, you know what we all think here. I just feel like something wrong. If you didn't do it to yourself, they did it to you.
Yeah,
They say sometimes
exactly.
just let go and let be and just go with the flow. But when you see stuff like this and you can't help but question, are these ideas good? Are they bad? Is AI good? Is it bad? Is implants good or are they bad? Does it help? How will it destruct? It's always like this or that, but we're not looking the many different other possibilities that they could help.
You
I
can
wish
Or
get
those worked for
you can
me.
use fire on nasalstrips.com and you can put in the code and get 10% off. Just kidding.
nasal strips.
I wish they worked for me. They don't.
I,
But I stop
they hurt
breathing
my
40 times
skin.
an hour. Yeah. So,
Yeah,
Stop
that's a
breathing
lot.
40 times
yeah,
an
yeah, it's
hour.
severe sleep apnea. Like I could sleep 10 hours and never feel rested. I was always tired. So now that I have this, like I can sleep 6 hours and I feel great.
Hmm.
That is
So,
crazy.
I'm thankful for it.
Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I'm
Are your
so
dreams
hot."
better now that you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
actually, cuz I'm
yeah,
sleeping.
yeah.
Do you hear your sleep it has your sleep apnea machine become a sound in your dream?
No, what cuz it's so quiet. Like they're not like the older ones are loud. These are so quiet. Like,
Oh,
it just
nice.
sounds maybe like maybe like
Uh
a fan, but
huh.
not even that loud. But it's
Oh,
really just
good.
when your mask is unsealed because it suctions. So when it comes unsealed at all, like you'll get like a shot of air up into your eyes and stuff, and so that will wake me up. But
Like the cold air.
Can you get like a design put on it so like it's an elephant mask?
well, it comes off my forehead. Mine comes off my forehead. The hose does so
Oh. Can you get
because
like
it
a sad
swivels, so you can
unicorn
sleep on whatever
horn?
side.
Like a sad unicorn horn?
I feel like it's like a
You know how you know what's one of the things that makes me so sad? Sad orca whale fins.
oh, that's the saddest thing in the world.
I would think that should be a t-shirt and it should say why so sad. And it should just have an orca sad fin. It should say fin up.
I saw the
Yep.
cutest dolphin video the other day. This guy was playing the clarinet off the boat, and the dolphin was like swimming and like singing with the fucking clarinet and dancing. It was the most beautiful fucking thing I've seen in a long time. Like with an interaction with an animal. Yeah, they were both creating music together, and they both sounded the same too. It was so cute.
I wonder that too with just is there something healing about us because of all the videos of the people with animals that they're experiencing the animals that they maybe never would get to, but there's less of this idea of like, oh, who cares? Where everyone wanted to kill sharks after Jaws. Like it
Yeah,
became a thing. Like now people are like not as mad at sharks. They're
yeah,
like, "Oh, look how majestic."
Oh
yeah.
my god.
Like,
I love animal videos. I was watching this one of a
so do I.
monkey in a
Fuck
freaking
the
Hot
dodo.
Wheels, and it was like putting a rabbit and catching these little chicks and putting them all on the back of its truck and then like reversing out, and it was the funniest shit I ever saw.
I
So
took
Just
the
stinking
dodo
cute.
right off my Instagram feed. I was like, I never want to see you again, dodo. Even if I was like, I know every video turns out happy. I know. But
mhm.
the excruciating, skinny, scraggly thing I have to watch go through the death walk you walk me through to get there, it feels like
Yeah.
a I big up you, Dodo. I love what you're doing over there, but I can't anymore. And right off, I'm like, pretty much anything. I treat my feed like Marie Kondo. If it doesn't bring me instant joy, it's out. So sometimes I get pissed on X because the stuff they push, I'm like, what?
Ridiculous.
It makes it, and I feel like they must be doing this to everyone. Like, I almost want everyone to do a like, put what they're posting at the top of your feed. And I feel like it's all shit to just amp you the fuck up.
Hmm.
Like, this
Especially
isn't, I
now.
don't follow these people. Just put the people I follow on my feed. I don't
I
want
mute
anything
people.
pushed.
I
Yeah.
mute. Whatever I don't like, I see a character I'm not following, they're not following me, mute.
You can mute words.
I mute
I was
them. Fuck that.
I have this annoying account that like it does astrology and everything, but it sends every post it does in your DMs, and it's so annoying. Like I just delete it. I don't even open them, but it's like I wish that I know I could just unfollow, but I don't know. I just wish that they couldn't DM me. I wish you could just block somebody from DMing you.
I think you can.
I could not figure that out.
I don't know. I don't know either. All right, you guys.
Hold on.
Yes.
Is it rape if they have no concept of consent, really?
I I don't know, because here's the thing. Like I've had to go to like APS meetings, like Adult Protective Services, and like like older people who have no mental cognition and stuff. Like you can't tell them no to having sex if it appears to be consensual, and I'm sure that it's not like always like somebody saying yes or whatever.
But
So even if you're like in a nursing home, like no people are getting it on, you just gotta kind of let them do it, even if they're not married and they're married to somebody else.
why? Okay, why? Oh, here's the question: why should anyone rape anybody? Why should anyone just like jump on anybody?
Why?
Huh? Why? Why can't people just say, like just genuinely love the person or like the person and meet, and meet in the middle? But no, one wants to control. Here we go again. The word control, like I said in the beginning, control the other in the situation. Right? Why you gotta be rapey? Why does anyone gotta be rapey to begin with? That's a good question. I like that question. How can we change that?
I
Not
feel
be
like
rapey.
really the rapey, it always question. I am always am surprised that that isn't a commandment. Like, thou
Thou
shalt
shalt
not be
not rape.
rapey. Like, and I always think that is wild that that's not a commandment, and that is really like most. I would say women in like their top three fears is like I don't want to be raped. Like, and then they kind of have to think about that fear. Like maybe not as much as they, but in some situation at nighttime, going to your car, going on a run, like
You're talking about dolphins. Okay, do you know what women dolphins do when they start seeing that the men start getting rapey and start killing off their offspring? Because
go
that's
swim
what
by
male
killer
dolphins
whales.
do. Yeah, well, that too, and women will start, just doing it and start ganging up on the men and killing off the men. So
Are you talking
is
about
that how we
dolphins?
should do it? Is should we like tell women to start just aborting men and like not have rape culture happen and just be a world full of women? Is that the answer? Because that's what it's like looking like with self control. Like, why can we control and why can't you? Like, that's where it comes to. It's like self control. Self control. Not control the other, but self control.
But that's the thing. It's like rape even happens in marriages, and in a lot of cultures, especially
Yeah.
cultures that are like very religious, it's totally fucking allowed. Like, because a woman is a man's property.
Well, I'll be the first to say, why does anyone need to be rapey?
You'll be the first.
Yeah.
You'll be
Why
the
do you need
very,
to be
you'll be the
rapey?
very first to
Why?
ever ask that question.
Be a human, a decent one. Self control. Is that what's lacking with men? Self control?
Well, I mean, take women out of it. It is
Yeah,
wild
because
to
women
me,
do it too.
but I mean, it's really,
Majority men.
yeah. But this is another thing that it blows my mind. Like bestiality with like sheeps, or like people are like,
You're raping
oh,
an animal.
a man got
Crazy.
arrested because he was raping his neighbor's dog, or like I don't know that I'm like,
But
what?
dolphins do that shit too, though, don't they? I heard they're very rapey.
Yeah,
we
that's what
just said
Layla
that.
was just saying.
Yeah, yeah. Won't they rape humans too? I've heard that.
Yeah.
They're rapey. They're humpers.
hmm
Are
Dogs are
dogs?
humpers too.
Yeah. Are
Yeah.
they
Oh my
being
You
god.
can't
rapey?
compare humans to fucking dolphins, man. Like, what are we doing? Comparing apples and oranges? Like,
Oh, but you just
oh
did.
fuck.
You were just like, here's what you're the one that brought up.
No, but they were talking about in the chat. What about dolphins? What about dolphins? Like, what about dolphins? They're dolphins. Let them do their dolphin thing. We're not dolphins. We're humans. If you want to be a dolphin like them's good for you. Good for you, but we're
Ducks
not.
are rapey too.
Are they?
Yeah, ducks are rapey. Ducks are very rapey, and they have corkscrew penises, so they like lock in.
You have more intelligence than that. Come on. It's not right. Y'all know it.
There's some rapey animals.
Yeah. It's not just human.
When a girl says no, it means fucking
But
no.
there's like if like
That's all.
rapey men will be rapey to even men. Like there's like a like it's just
Little
rapey,
boys
and
got
look at
games
like
now.
raping the land or raping your innocence in so many other ways. Like I think it's just like a real gross energy.
It really is
Did you
disgusting.
guys
It's
ever listen to
horrible.
that song "Date Rape" by Sublime?
No.
It's like this guy fucking date rapes a girl, like roofies her and date rapes her, and so she like has his ass thrown in jail and everything. And then the song is like karmic because then he goes to jail and he gets butt raped, so by an inmate, you know.
That's crazy.
But
It's crazy. All throughout history, it's like not the right thing to do in like the butthole. Like they talk about it, like in all different tribes. It's like not the right thing to do for your masculinity.
but a
It,
lot of like the buttholes are talking about, but a lot of like Muslim men will do it to women so that way they don't freaking what's it called the women who
pop the
get
cherry.
circumcised,
Yeah.
like and they get sewed up, like
Yeah.
so they don't. Yeah,
So they don't like ruin that part and they'll just throw it in the butt.
yeah.
hmm Yeah. They don't get caught. It's insane. Oh man, the shit that happens. It's mind blowing.
It is mind blowing. Do we have anything else that we want to end it with?
We should end it on a
Anything
good
more?
note.
That's what I'm thinking.
Um, pussy should be loved, respected, adored, cherished, nice, be nice, That's a beautiful note to end on.
Let me think. I feel like I should scroll through my phone. Pussy should be cherished. The end. Can you
That's a-
save us, Britney Spears? Can
Very merry on birthday to you.
Like,
Good. It's shown in hieroglyphs. They're holding the eggs up to the sun, like they're holding the wombs up to the sun. Like I'm telling you, cherish the pussy. Be nice to it. God is watching. You came out of it.
Goddess.
exist because of it. It's the best thing to tell somebody. Why would you do that? Would you like someone to do that to your mother? No, absolutely not.
Up, back again. I know. I'm trying to
Listen,
find
I'm on
something else to
fire,
end it on.
right?
I'm like, let me scroll through my phone. Did you guys see about the Krasensteins?
The who?
I don't know who the Krasensteins are.
Oh,
So
Ed
you'll
and
have
Brian Krasenstein. They're like Democratic influencers on X, and they have like they're attached to all these porn sites.
Oh, go figure.
That's a big
Brittany.
problem.
I'm
Porn.
like, oh, a bunch of Brittany pictures.
She did post tonight before we went on. I didn't like it, but
George W. Bush and his wrinkled flag. Oh, another weird thing's been happening where people I know that have been watching weather maps a lot, where they're recording weather like events, like let's say for a week out, like here's what the radar says. And then like I'm going to look at the same exact maps and it's not there. And then they're going immediately after and they're like, holy shit, it's not there. And then they're like, look at here's like a hurricane here in the Gulf, and then here's one on the other side the next day, and that one's gone. Like weird thing. You remember how
It's
you
happened
pointed?
to me before.
So people are like looking at weather maps and like following them with a bunch of frequency and knowing them well enough, and then they're like, look at how this flows, and then it just disappears, or look how this comes out of nowhere, or look at this doesn't hit anywhere. It says there's a hurricane, and then it doesn't hit anything.
Interesting. It almost reminds me of that radar shit that's happening, like the glitching and like.
Well, look how much we rely on like directionally to get around with our phones. What if they didn't tell us about a storm coming?
Ooh. They would do that.
They would totally do that.
Absolutely, they would.
Like they always normally tell us storms are coming, even if they're not, and they make the whole spaghetti model super wide so that they can push commerce. Usually they're like, here, go shop at Walmart and Home Depot and fill your houses with a whole bunch of hurricane supplies and do all this stuff and spend money you don't have. Usually it's right after people spent money to go back to school too, when they push this.
Showing one coming on the 10th.
And they weren't before. This is like brand new.
Yeah.
So
crazy.
So like how
That
much
looks
damage
kinda
would be done
fucking big, yo.
yeah, if they didn't tell anyone.
Look at that and look where Florida is. Look how
can't
big that
tell at
shit
all.
is. Hold on. Yeah. There's Florida. Hold on. Where are you? It's on the side, Florida. You see it? Up here somewhere?
Oh, it's all the way. Hold your phone up higher.
There we go.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
right. Let me
There.
see. It's right there's
Yeah.
Florida.
And then look at this big ass motherfucking thing. Hold on. Okay, look at it. Look how big it is. Look at Florida and look at that fucking storm. Huge.
Is this on the
It
other
just
side
started.
of Mexico though?
No, this is
Dang.
like this is coming from the Atlantic Ocean. It's reverse. Sorry. That's why.
Oh,
It's
okay.
weird. Yeah, it's coming from the Atlantic Ocean and
Dang.
going that way. I don't know if it's going to change, but it's on the radar, and we'll keep an eye on it. It's like showing Tuesday the 10th. That's where its location is. August 10th.
All right, you guys.
We can play this game along the shows and update everybody throughout the days.
We will be in and out on Wednesday, testing everything and seeing what's up. So keep an eye out. We love you so much. And we will definitely see you Friday, regardless. So XOXO, Gossip Girl.
Love you guys.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Britney Spears, can we be saved? God, why is Satan controlling the universe?
The world we used to think we knew is constantly exposing who our possibilities come true. So what we do is call out to the good guys, good guys. Witches, widows, MAGA, mystics, entertaining cunning linguists, good guys. The forum of the quorum needs a secretive society to advance our philosophies intentionally, magically, good guys. Conspiracy, sex, culture, Jamaicans, it's okay to change your thinking, good guys. Good guys, good guys, good guys. The world we used to think we knew is constantly exposing woo. Our possibilities come true, so what we do is call out to the good guys, good guys. Witches, widows, MAGA, mystics, entertaining cunning linguists, good guys. The forum of the quorum needs a secretive society to advance our philosophies intentionally, magically, good guys. Conspiracy, sex, culture, Jamaicans, it's okay to change your thinking, good guys. Good guys, good guys, good guys.
You're still here? It's over.